Howdy, folks. Welcome to Courts of Everest, our original D&D campaign. I am Joe Treff, your DM this evening and many other evenings, and joining me are my friends Matt, Vincent, Tina, Kara, Hannah, and Alana.
So musical.
Yeah, we're going to play D&D tonight, but before we do, a couple quick announcements. Let me make a little bit less, I feel like equally ominous music, but less intense. A couple of quick announcements before we get into actual D&D this evening. Give me just one moment to pull up my notes. All right. This is the 101st session of our D&D campaign.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. We have a couple of quick announcements.
We made it to 100.
We did, yeah. We made it over 100.
I glossed over that last week was 100.
Yeah. A couple of quick announcements. First of all, you can see a whole bunch of different things on our social media at Alberon RPG. We have an Instagram, we have a Threads, we have a Blue Sky, we have a Patreon where you can see behind the scenes content, which is actually super cool. If you go and see, I am literally here every single game, and I went for the first time last week, and I felt like I saw a whole bunch of stuff I never saw before. So it is super cool. Check out the Patreon. We have a YouTube where there is 518 sessions of role-playing that you can go and see from our first D&D campaign, from our Starfinder campaign, which is Thursdays at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, from our first season of Iron and Thorn, the original Cypher System game, using the Old Gods of Appalachia rule set that Kara is running for us on Sundays, the second season of which we began last weekend. It was an absolute blast to play. You can join us in 2 weeks when we restart that adventure on Sunday. We also tomorrow will be playing another D&D adventure. This is the third of the Wheel of the Year series. There are 8 total that each are going to be themed after one of the pagan high holidays. This one is themed after Ostara. Damn it. I was close.
You were
There's a few. These are the easy ones. There's
the
2 or 3 that are real hard. Yeah, I looked at it and I was like, sure, if you can, and you can go and see me do that on the Alberon State of the Union at Alberon RPG on YouTube. There are that's going to be on Saturday at noon. Tina is going to be DMing that. A number of us are going to be playing. We are also going to be joined by a different Matt and by Sable, who is going to be taking a brand new character into this adventure. So join us tomorrow at noon for that.
It's going to be a bloodbath.
Yeah, it's going to be...
Better lay down a tarp before you
Some of us
Now have literal plot armor.
but upstairs about spring and rebirth.
Rebirth.
Oh, no.
Rolling new characters.
That's fair. Okay. So all those things into consideration, we also have a number of other games that are coming up in the very near future. You can see those as they sort of are announced over at Alberon RPG on our various social media. We have Monument Studios and Sirenscape to thank for the sounds and music that we have. Although, sound is quite quiet. Let me turn it up a little bit. Okay. And that is all the announcements that I have for this week. And it's time for our session of Courts of Everest. And to you, Kara, for the recap.
Wandering Hearts. When last we played, our group exited the forest full of spiders and nonsense, arriving to the edge of the valley where whispers die. Sound muffled and very tired, verging on exhaustion. We discuss various methods to revitalize ourselves through rest and not really relaxation, but the idea came to that we should just go into Alina's ring, a wonderful demiplane of leaves and
Yeah.
hammocks
Glad we didn't do that.
and conversation pits.
We did.
I believe it is there.
Most of us
Therefore it
did.
is.
Yes.
Most of us agreed with this plan, Euthelius included. Ori, however, did not. For some reason, Ori doesn't like being shunted into a demiplane. We'll figure out why. But he stayed outside the ring with Rez to protect it. While we congregated inside the ring, preparing various spells for the next day and strategies, Minka asked Euthelius about the potentials for spells inside the valley, and he responded that spells have a tendency to move on their own as living spells. Rez, however, while keeping watch outside, is able to see sound as he rolls a natural 20 and alerts Alina to literally everything. Trees moving, a cottage over there, dust on the wind. It's all happening. Ori, taking second watch from Rez, becomes a bat as he circles about, keeping watch, only to realize another bat is flying alongside him.
That was later.
There's something about a bat. You saw
This
a
is
hawk.
the trees.
Bird? Trees. Anyway,
trees
there's
trying to
stuff.
trap us.
That happens. Stuff trapped us. I was incorrect. I got distracted.
Stuff trapped us, but Bat Ori figured out a way to not.
One of the things to really think about, you guys avoided a tremendous amount of things last session.
Yeah.
So many that it's kind of like I forgot about that, and that was a pretty major encounter that you avoided. So yeah,
By
well done.
stealth and
Just
rings.
took the ring and flied up as a bat.
The
'cause,
one
like,
ring.
what are they gonna do? Cave the ground in when I'm flying?
We finally
Which they did do.
We finally hone in on a decision the next morning as Valis casts a new spell, Find Greater Steed. And a horse arrived on the scene that then we turned into mist as Minka cast Windwalk on us all so that we could fly quickly.
Fly like the wind.
As we fly through the valley, mist on the wind, tears in the rain. We approached the cottage that Rez noted before, arriving to find it still but fully trapped. Traps that appear to be useful against certain creatures that are susceptible to stakes. Ori, Alina, and Valis all moved quickly into the cottage to investigate, finding it strangely quiet. Moving upstairs, they found in solid form, not mist, they find evidence of the Ausenlock having been at this place, complete with robes, a very desiccated corpse, and an intricate glass wand, which Valis attempts to take. Billy stands outside guarding, also in solid form, while Cheshire and Minka stay incorporeal with Euthelius outside. It's then that Billy notices not a dog, but a large wolf in the edge along the trees. Trees? There were trees there? Or is it just running off into the sand?
It was running off into the sun.
Running off into the sand. Apparently I just saw a wolf there. Eyes are sometimes good. And with the warning, we are beset by vampire and vampire spawn alike. Ori shot bolts of fire from his vantage point high in the cottage. Valis heroically leaping forth to save Minka, who ended up being a fairly effective tank, just kind of hanging out as a mist.
It was great.
I did get
So the
it.
saving kind of wasn't important, but he did a good job killing all the vampires around him. Billy did less good until she realized that she could just get away and cast a new spell, Sickening Radiance, bathing the area in an ugly, garish green light, causing invisible things to become visible, and also a radiant sickness. Alina, again, loving her new trick of being able to pick things up and drop them from high heights, again, interacted in this way with multiple vampire spawn, dealing hefty damage and causing them to be dragged through that delightful radiance once more. The wolf, antagonized by Rez, then ate Rez. Rip. And after we
See you in an
had
hour, buddy.
decimated most of the vampire population, the wolf howled, calling more to us before running off into the distance. Cheshire, unable to aid in any way due to being cloud form, decided to take a step back and hide amongst the clouds, looking from on high for any future danger. The wolf ran off to alert someone who we knew not. But Ori, leaning out in a heroic pose from the second floor of the cottage,
Just more cool guy pose.
let me have this! Shot off his
Matt,
crossbow
please.
dart into the distance beyond, spearing the wolf through with a wondrous blaze of fire, killing it dead. And we were thus out of combat, stopping only briefly to investigate the area as we realized we were being watched. We all resumed our mist-like form and traveled onwards as fast as we possibly could, all the while the sense of something followed us. Some more intently than others, as Ori, constantly looking back over his misty shoulder, saw a bat able to keep pace with us. And indeed, he got the sense that perhaps was able to surpass us, if it wanted. Eventually, Windwalk began to fade, and we found a place to rest for the night. And similarly, a giant bat about the size of us also found a place on an opposing ledge, not far from us, and promptly changed into the visage of a man with fangs all the way down to his chest. Again, if you need a recommendation for a good dentist, I have one.
You can never look down.
And anyway, on that terrifying note, this is where we begin our session.
Very nice. Thank you.
You're welcome.
For all of you who have landed here, and I can show you on the battle map, but you can see it in better detail at Alberon RPG on Instagram. You can see a stone sort of field in front of you going on and on and on to the north, sprawling out to where you can see the dome now rising up in the distance. Only maybe a half an hour, maybe 45 minutes away, maybe even less. It is close. You can see on the sides of this valley, these stony ribs seem to almost curl and crawl around and seem to almost be about to strike or close in around you. But much more pressing of a concern, about 50 or 60 feet away across the space on another platform of stone, though about 15 feet lower than you, you can see this vampire. Their fangs are down monstrously low, below where their chin is, almost like walrus tusks more than vampire fangs. You can see they gaze out across. They are a little bit skinny, but you can see the muscles that are underneath this undead flesh are like steel. They stand out against this form almost like iron, and they look hungry. And they say to you in your mind, Dory, one of you must stay so that the rest may leave. Who? And in this moment, as you are like thinking about this, could everybody make a perception check?
Including me?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Oh, average.
Hmm.
That's good for me.
11.
Nice.
27.
Okay.
18.
Okay.
Hang on, let me just double check because I might have gotten higher after the last level up. Just joking.
24.
Okay.
30.
Okay.
Hey, you're
So,
perceptive as fuck.
Ori, Valis, and Billy, the three of you note that you are not alone in this valley. Though this creature was the only one that was able to keep peace with you, it seems as if they have called on reinforcements. And you can see in the darkness here, there are dark, shadowy shapes. None of the vampire spawn seem to be able to keep pace with you,
But they're catching up.
but they're all wolves.
He's got like a fistful
And I
of
did
minions.
see that there were
A
other
fistful of
bats
wolves
following
is,
us.
my
You
second
imagine if
band.
you wait long enough, yes,
Yeah,
you'll have
there
a
will
lot
be
more.
more. Yeah.
There's one more.
At this point, I think Mink is going to lean over to Cheshire and be like, we should go. We should go.
Can't.
If you could spin that
We
last
won't
wolf
be able
around,
to
so
do
he's
that.
not facing away from
Are
you.
you sure he's not just hiding?
He's...
Maybe he's just confused.
For the three of you, you can see stalking purposefully, quietly, being very mindful, the footsteps each kind of dropping quietly to make sure that there is no crunch of gravel or snap of twigs. They are closing a net around you.
Hey, look.
Alina didn't pass that check, did she? So
No.
she doesn't see any of
That
this.
is a DC
Billy
20
says,
check.
hey, look.
Alina looks.
You turn and look, and certainly here in the darkness, with your magical vision, you see signs of movement, but you do not see these shapes. You are aware that there is something out there.
There's a bunch of wolves down there, in case you were wondering.
That fucking sucks.
Yeah, it does.
Is there anything that you're responding, Ori?
Well, I'm trying to say stuff to these folks.
What do you say?
Okay, we're here.
I was trying to say, in response to what you were saying, we can't go.
Why not?
They've been toying with us this whole time. I've been trying to warn you all.
There wasn't a whole lot we could do about it.
Well, I know, but
Does that mean we have to fight?
I don't think we can. He wants one
One what?
of us.
Oh, I can get us out of here.
Did he say
if you
which
can
one?
stall him.
Billy kind of like quickly looks over at Euthelius.
What was it that you said?
Did he say which one?
No, just they're hungry and they'll
Okay,
let us
listen.
go.
If you can stall him for like 1 minute, I can get us out of here. Just,
I don't
do you
think
think you
that's
can do
going.
that?
In your mind, you hear Ori, I'll let you try to go. But I am hungry. I have waited for long.
He's listening to us.
Okay, well, I'm just gonna touching our nose.
If you do that, we're going to have to fight. You can have me.
You say this out loud. Make a deception check.
and Billy like shakes Alina like,
And before you
begins
do,
to cast a spell.
is there anything that anybody is going to do to help Ori make this check? This deception check, is whether or not this individual believes that really Ori is offering him up, and this might afford you a chance to
Oh, I
cast
was
a spell.
Can I
actually.
help?
I'm actually. This. I would argue. I mean, it doesn't change the role, but I would say this is more persuasion.
Okay,
'cause
persuasion it can be.
I'm willing to put my life down for this.
I don't
Then-
think Alina
Because
can
Ori
do
is
anything
also
other than
feeling like
begin to
Hang on,
cast
hang on.
a spell.
it kind of is because of Ori, because the whole like vampires.
This is an
after-
ability
Don't
check.
roll yet.
This is an
So
ability
yeah,
check,
don't roll
correct?
then.
Yeah.
So if that's your intent, phenomenal. You say that is your that you volunteer, and in your head you can hear this individual say, "Wonderful, come to me." And I need you to make a wisdom saving throw, please, at disadvantage,
Ah, shit.
as you are a willing creature.
Is it blanked because
You have
neutral
advan-
because of
yeah.
I will use my ability called Wheel to grant Ori a +3 bonus.
There you go.
Okay.
and
Can I have-
Billy just like
This can also be used right now as well, right?
Billy growls in his ear. Oh, you have one?
Yeah.
No, that's better than mine. Take it.
We bring out the
Do
big
they not
guns for
stack?
this one.
Why does it always come down to my fucking?
You're the one who sticks your head.
Well, it
I will
was.
say most of the time, yes. This time you just happen to be the most perceptive. It's a punishment for your
You did a lot of
special
talking this
eyes.
Yeah. It was also like, you know,
Ori, the one that made eye contact.
Ori
awkwardly
felt,
across
yeah,
the
Ori
hallway.
felt Ori feels responsible for this guy. +3,
+3.
and it's a wisdom save.
This
Or
is a
charisma.
wisdom save.
What's that?
That's valid.
20
Plus, yeah.
+4.
+4, 26.
In this moment, you can feel this devastating pulse of not quite arcane energy. As you look into their eyes, it is like you are drawn in, and you remember this feeling. You
Oh,
feel
damn.
yourself begin to be charmed,
Just like
but with the
that.
24, you are able to resist this charm.
Ori
And you
felt
get the
like
sense
it.
that they sense that, as instantly their face shifts and they grow angry.
Oh, shit.
They hiss, and in this moment, they begin to close, and everybody can go ahead and roll for initiative.
Do we have a
Does-
chance to?
I was gonna say, does Alina begin? She said she began casting her spell while this happened. Does this not happen?
So if you were going to begin while that happened, how long does it take to cast a spell? Just a single action? Everybody just needs to join hands, and so all of you are kind of reaching to join hands.
And then
What I will say is, we're going to roll for initiative, and it's really important. You guys
Yeah.
are in a position where you don't need to move. All you really need to do is survive to Alina casting the spell.
Oh.
We can do this, guys.
Oh!
Good God in heaven.
Oh, that looks like a sad.
There's multiple sads over here.
I think Alina was the only one who needed the high initiative.
Yeah,
if I
but that
understood you
looked like
correctly.
a-
Everybody's. It's helpful for everybody.
Can I spend a luck point to?
You got one of those?
Anybody natural 20.
This was such an important fucking roll.
All right, 25 to 20.
22,
22. What is your dexterity?
19.
Don't like that.
Okay.
I think I'm 21.
Okay.
No, I'm also 22.
22. What is your dexterity?
Plus 3.
Plus 3. Okay, making me change everything.
I'm so sorry,
No
I'm bad at
worries.
math.
Okay, so make it
I'm not used to doing this high initiative.
20 to 15.
16.
16. Wow,
Because you go
Phallus.
backwards. I always have to think
Roaring
really
ahead.
hard
Yeah.
about it.
Sorry. 15 to 10.
14.
14 for Ori.
Poopy
All right,
scoopies.
10 to 5.
8.
Damn.
8 for Alina, the most
sorry, you
important
guys.
roll. And then, Billy, what about you?
4.
4. Billy barely even participated.
All right. Well, I can probably
ask
get
a
like
clarifying
a
question
few
before we get
chomps
going?
in me
Yes.
before you guys get there.
Where's
Do
Euthelius?
all of us know
Oh yeah.
that if
Euthelius
we
too.
join hands, Alina can get us out? Because she did say, "Okay, everybody hold hands. I can get us out of here." I just want to make sure that
Not everybody
knows what they
knows, and I would say even you have an intuitive idea that this will work. You don't know that this will work. You don't know that this is really what's going to happen, but you've communicated this,
And
so
everyone heard me say, "Join
Yes.
hands. I can get us out of here."
yes,
Okay.
and it's up to them if they choose to acknowledge
Agreed.
that.
I just want to.
So, the way that this works out, we are beginning with Orthaniel Bloodcross,
We are.
Oh,
who tied but exceeds with a dexterity score of 22, Minka's.
Damn it.
Then Cheshire, then Euthelius, then Valis, then Ori, then Alina, and then Billy at the very end of time, anchoring us. And so we'll start with Euthelius. Or sorry, not with Euthelius.
Where is
With
Euthelius?
Orthaniel.
He's in the middle. Like,
no, I mean like on the
In
initiative.
combat.
So,
Oh,
Oh yeah. Euthelius.
Euthelius is 17, so he's right between Cheshire and Valis.
Heard.
So, Orthaniel is going to, the face shifts. They hiss and they cross the distance in a heartbeat, Ori directly
Pissed
in
them
front
off.
of you.
Oh, pissed them off.
They
Sorry,
are
guys.
going
Is
to.
he flying?
Yes, he is fine. He is going
Right
to
up in
zoom
that
across the
bit.
space directly in front of you, Ori,
That's the biggest one that I have.
oh yeah.
This is tall.
and he is going to take a multi-attack against you. The first attack is an unarmed strike. That is going to be a 20 to hit.
Yep.
Can you go ahead and instead of dealing damage, can you make a strength saving throw?
Oh man.
Oh no.
Are you held?
Can I uncanny dodge this?
No.
Because it's. Oh yeah, because it
Exposed
has to
to
be
a bear hug,
damage
maybe?
taken after
Yeah.
getting hit.
Okay, question.
Yes.
Is this could I since I used my reaction previously, could I use is
Natural
this
20.
With
Never
a
mind.
natural
I
20.
was needed to declare it before it was rolled.
There you
Sorry.
go. With a natural 20, it doesn't
Sorry.
matter. They grab their arms around you, and their arms are
Holy
like steel. For
vampire
somebody who is so thin, they are quite strong. You get the sense
Just
that
like
they're
me.
stronger than everybody else in your party. You've like kind of like wrestled or at least jostled around with Valis. This person is strengthy, but you are still able to really using a little bit more of the dexterity than strength to dodge. That is their first attack. The second one is only going to be actually. I think that's going to be a miss. That is a 14 to hit.
That misses.
All right, third one, that is also terrible, is going to be a
that.
16 to hit.
That's gonna be a miss.
The final
I
one,
love that.
What do you mean?
that is also going to be a miss. And so with
yeah!
4 attacks
Fuck
from this
you!
individual, they attack, they
God.
strike, using just unarmed strikes, and every time that they slash out, you can see the nails are wicked and jagged and black. Not like fingernails, but almost like old iron. But they are unable to pierce through your armor, they're unable to grab onto you, and they hiss at the end of their turn. As a bonus action, they are going to disengage.
Before that,
Yeah.
when a creature you can see moves into the reach you have with the melee weapon, you can use your reaction to expend one superior die to make one attack against that creature. I would like to utilize that with
Okay.
my dagger.
Go ahead, make your attack roll.
Did he approach in a way that also put him in melee range of anyone else besides Ori?
No, very pointedly trying to keep a little angle on Ori here.
Also even a
But he's also taking the disengage.
Easy come, easy go.
So you thrust out, they are able to just dodge away. They move really quickly. In fact, as they take that bonus action to disengage, having already moved about
They call me a
50
punk ass
feet.
bitch for trying to hit him.
That's him trying to hug.
I have a feeling that you don't actually need to be counting squares with how fast this guy moves.
I do up until I start doing certain things.
Gotcha.
You think disarming attack would work on literal arms?
And he just kind of zooms around, and you can see after he tries to attack you several times, Ori, and is unsuccessful, the eyes scan across this crowd. You can feel as if he is looking for the weakest target, and Minka. The eyes settle on you.
They should not.
But that is his turn. That brings us to you, Minka.
I'm just gonna make direct eye contact with him. I'm gonna look so I as well quickly look around, hold on to Cheshire with one hand, and then reach out to Lita with my other. But before grabbing on, she's going to try something that's probably not gonna work, but I'll give it a go. I'm gonna try to cast Earthbind
Okay.
on the vampire.
Ooh. Okay. It is a strength save?
It is a strength save. It's a 19.
Okay.
I'm going to guess it's going to fail, but I will try.
That is going to be... Strength is not one of the better ones, but 23.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come on.
And so as you try to get the elements of earth to just grasp out around, those little ledges that are behind and underneath form almost fingers and try to reach out, but they just dart behind each one. You can't quite catch up to them. They are very fast.
Okay. Then I will bonus action archer form and just shoot the arrow at him.
There you go. Make an attack. roll.
Aggressive. Does a 29 hit?
A 29 does hit.
Excellent. So that is going to be plain damage. I know what my dice are shaped like. So that is a total of 14 radiant damage.
14 radiant damage. You deal 14 points of radiant damage, and that deals exactly the amount that you would expect.
Okay.
Anything else?
I have Cheshire in one hand and Alina in the other hand.
No problem.
Good job.
You have two of your allies in either
Most
hand. You
iron
can
grip
see
that I can get.
Cethelius in front of you, this bolt of radiant energy streaking into the darkness. That is your turn, Minka. That brings. Oh, at the end of your turn, they will use a legendary action to continue moving.
Of course they will. Why wouldn't you? It's right there. It's legendary.
Yeah. And he is going to land there.
Is he out of line of sight now?
Yeah.
3 wolf moon.
And that is the end of his legendary action. That brings us to Cheshire.
Grabbing Minka. Grabbing whoever's on the other side. I guess looks like Billy.
Yep.
Maybe grab Euthelius and like pull him into the lineup too,
Okay.
like,
You're
we're just
gonna
manhandling
make Billy hold Euthelius's hand.
You have to wear your getting along shirt.
Buddy up.
I don't know that this will do anything, but it's the only time it's applicable. I'll use counter term for my action. So everybody within 30 feet gets advantage against being frightened and charmed.
Yes.
So
It will do things.
let's go.
So in this
Pretty
moment,
awesome.
as Cheshire grabs Euthelius and pulls them back, Cheshire, you can almost intuitively feel around you this weave of strings that is always there. They're not always perceptible to you. You can't even see them, but you can feel your hands dance across as if you are plucking an instrument. But you pull these elements together that you feel anchors magic to this point, and you feel as if your allies are a little bit more resistant to being charmed. Anything else, Cheshire?
That's all I'm doing.
All right, that brings us to Euthelius. Euthelius, kind of pulled back by you, heard you say, everybody join hands. And Euthelius does not trust you like that yet.
Just like clinging onto him.
Seeing everything that is happening here and having a rough sense as to how the spell works, he is going to turn to you, Alina, and he is going to say, whatever you do, if you stay on this plane, there are stones that join as they should not to the north. You can use those to come here from there or go there from here. Good luck. And they're going to turn, and you can see these little chains begin
bamfing
to
out? What a piece
kind of
of
fly off. and he is going to take up into the air by about 5 feet and then fly off in the direction of that vampire. And he is going to dash, and he is going to end his turn in base contact with that vampire.
The one.
Euthelius.
Oh, right.
Damn.
Damn, Euthelius!
And that brings us to Valis.
Damn,
keep
everyone.
wanting to
I'm
call them
sorry.
I might need to you to say that
Now
to
we're
me
gonna
again
have to
later.
fight
'Cause
him.
I'll need to listen.
No worries.
That's okay.
Huh?
Valis.
Probably do that too.
I apologize to everyone, but I can't let.
Don't you fucking dare!
I dare. I
Dare.
call my steed to me,
Darest. He darest.
and I look to the rest and I say, I can't leave him behind.
Oh, come on.
And so my steed, I'm gonna
you were
mount
totally
my
fine with
steed.
leaving Ori behind.
It has 90 feet of fly speed, so it looks like it can probably get to me and get me.
It can.
to-
Is anybody stopping Valis? You have reaction.
Yeah, I'm gonna grab his hand.
Okay, absolutely. So, these are competing athletics checks.
Hell
Anchored
yeah.
in here. And what I will say is, Valis, make yours at advantage, as you got a fucking steed. You were trying to grab somebody off a moving motorcycle.
least
I can't
one
use bardic
horsepower.
inspiration
You,
during.
I would say for this you can. Yeah, this is an important moment.
Don't you fucking go, bardic inspiration to you. It's a D8. Wait, tiny bardic.
I did not
For
roll
flavor,
very
it's
well.
less that that's adding to Alina and more that it's taking from Valis.
Yes.
I did not roll very well.
Damn, I'd give you guidance if I could.
12?
Oh shit.
Yeah, he's probably got that as a modifier.
I think
It was like
9 on the
at least 13.
At least 13. You break free. You will not be stopped. You bust
We
free
tried.
and you zoom, taking the celestial steed in
Oh,
this direction.
wait.
And you can
No,
see
damn it, I used my reaction.
there, and you can see this individual, like the chains floating away from their body, beginning to engage in combat with this vampire. The vampire, like grinning, the fangs bared, and both of them turn to just regard you zooming down like a comet. Anything else, Valis?
flowers.
Yeah, I'm gonna turn to Euthelius and say, can't leave you here alone. And then I'm going to bonus action Sunbeam straight ahead. And it looks like I probably get
3, the vampire, and 2 wolves. Possibly that third wolf. Too far away for the third wolf.
if I'm like, let's see.
Right.
If you jump off and use your own movement action to get closer,
Let's see. I don't think I can get the third roll. So, unless
What you doing, Valis?
I can't. So I'm gonna sunbeam the Orthaniel and this wolf.
Okay. Go ahead.
And
That's a
you
dexterity
gotta
save.
make a Constitution saving throw.
Alright.
Is he a undead or ooze?
He is an undead. The
He has
wolf.
he has disadvantage on his saving throw.
Excellent. The wolf is going to have an 18 for their save.
That meets it.
For Orthaniel, this is a con save.
Yeah.
So if it wasn't a disadvantage, that would have been a natural 20. With disadvantage, that is only a 15.
Oh, that's a failure.
There you go.
All right.
big numpy time.
Let's see.
Worth it.
If you say so.
Those are good numbies.
Those are quite good numbies.
You gotta get back here, though.
It's cool.
He's not going to.
10,
It's cool. We just gotta kill a
23.
vampire now.
9, 35. So 35 radiant damage to Orthaniel, half to the
So 17 to
to
the wolf.
the wolf,
Okay.
and he is blind.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
On my turn.
Give me 1 second
How
here.
long is he blind for?
He's blind until
Here's hoping.
my turn, I think. Let's see. He's blinded until my next turn.
Phenomenal.
He can't see.
He is in fact blinded.
Get him.
In that moment, you can see you strike out across him. It does the full amount of damage that you would expect. You can hear that wolf yelp as the radiant damage brights off across. And you can see, generally speaking, for like creatures like this, their flesh can like stitch itself back together. The radiant energy seems to have inhibited that somewhat. And they don't seem to be regenerating in this moment. Anything else, Valis?
Yeah, I'm gonna hit him twice.
There you go.
Nice.
That's gonna be a 29 to hit.
29 hits.
I'm gonna smite him. I'm just gonna give it everything I got.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be
Another trophy.
3rd level smite, 4 dice, one of those. And he is undead, right?
He is indeed.
Alright, so that's an extra dice.
Extra smitey.
My smitey
okay.
sense is
Okay,
tingling.
number. It's not as good as before,
Okay,
but still
not
good
as
numbers. Still good. Still probably above average or pretty much average.
7 magical slashing.
Okay.
The rolling commentary is always so good.
And then 28 radiant.
28 radiant. Fantastic. Anything else?
Yeah,
Alice?
2nd attack.
Fuck yeah.
That one might 23 to hit.
23 hits.
Oh, nice! I'll smite again.
There you go.
Smite the shit out of this dude.
10 magical slashing,
Slashing.
and then 23 radiant.
Very nice.
Alright.
So you dive using the steed, breaking away from your companions, not listening to your allies, only to your heart. And with the celestial steed, you drive your sunbeam
I'm sorry,
forward,
everyone.
and you just burst like a
It's
lance
cool.
of radiant light through this vampire, through this wolf. The vampire hisses and turns to the side, and as you end your turn, like almost directly next to them, they turn to look at you and they
But
say,
They can't see me.
"Oh, they can't see you. That's right, they are blind."
He's like, oh,
So they direct their head
to turn off the
around,
camera
they
flash.
hiss, and they say, "You are a worthy opponent. I will drain you dry."
damn.
As a legendary
Reading me,
action,
Zaddy.
you are, I think, in melee range of them, correct?
Yeah.
So they are going to
Yeah.
take an attack at disadvantage against you. And they're going to actually use both of their the remaining legendary actions to take a bite attack. As they just lash out at the darkness.
Bitten.
Okay. That is going to be a 22 to hit.
Oh, that hits.
There we go. Valis. They lash out, and though they are blind, it seems as if they can seek your jugular. I do not have enough d6s back here.
Uh-oh.
Damn, that's crazy. No. If he doesn't have enough, then he has to roll what he has to.
Guess he'll have to just roll some d20s
Don't
then.
give the GM aid.
If it helps, I gave him the dice that
They're
Joanne
annoying.
called me out for having a psychopathic set of d6s.
Okay, so
The Yahtzee die?
first, God, I hate these dice.
Oh, with the pips instead of the numbers.
Yes. You take 12 points of piercing damage, plus an additional 20 points of necrotic damage, and your hit point maximum is reduced by the same amount. As they bite into you, they bite into your shoulder, right beneath the clavicle, getting right beneath the armor, and you can feel one of the fangs just puncture straight through the metal, goes right into the flesh, and they just draw blood from within. They pull back, and you can see, unlike previously, some of their health is returned.
Shocker.
But that is their legendary action. That brings us to Ori.
Damn.
Alina, you're on deck. Billy, you're in the hole.
Can I still see the Batman from where I am?
At the moment, the
I mean, I
Batman is
saw-
out of your vision.
I saw Valis go down there, though.
You didn't.
right?
You can see Valis presently.
I'm like, oh, fuck.
Valis is mounted on a
Fuck.
horse.
Fuck, Valis. Fuck.
Right?
I'm moving myself.
I forgot about the bat. I forgot about the bat cloak, so I thought
I
you were
did
just gonna sail.
That's what I was just like, are you just like clambering down the side of this
So Ori
cliff?
just jumps off the side of the cliff and tries to dive bomb like WWE style. So what is it? 5, 10 to get to the other side. 15,
What's your
20,
movement?
25, 30, 35, 40.
Yep.
Can I do that while making my descent to get down to like here? Or, like,
yeah, you
somewhere
can do that.
around
That-
like here-ish?
It would be, yeah, it would be
I'm gonna
right
get,
where you
like-
put, or it would be at the base of the platform.
Like here?
Yeah.
Or, okay. So I can see from here, yeah.
You can. Certainly, they're getting the benefit of half cover from that.
Okay. Yeah, because, oh, that's Euthelius. I thought that was, alright.
No,
fine.
if
you
you want
wanna
to hit
kill this
Euthelius,
guy.
you have a clean shot.
That's what you wanted, right?
You know what?
And then Dallas doesn't have to stay
gonna-
anymore.
Bonus action dash to just make that not an issue.
Yeah, because we can leave Ori behind.
And I'm gonna
Well,
come
that's
up
what
to
Oh, yeah, right.
here. Like generally up there.
Yeah.
But that actually works for the mini. So that I can take a shot from there.
Okay, sounds good.
Um,
You dash across the space using the cloak, using every bit of movement that you can to just burst into this stony column area, using it for a little bit of cover.
advantage for being high up.
Yeah, absolutely. So, movement, bonus action, dash, action attack. Cool.
Can I borrow a D20? Thank you.
You need to.
Take these away.
These aren't great. Not great numbies. That's a 21 to hit.
A 21 just hit.
Ooh,
Nice!
All right,
I like that
and that's a
as well.
sneak attack.
You sneaking.
So I'm gonna also dump a bunch of shit into this attack, like Valis did. I'm gonna use. He's clearly not armed because he's got.
He's got 2
fingies.
arms.
Yeah, but he's got fingies, right? So I can't really use.
Yeah, he's been just kind of like to us, right?
I guess could I try to disarm his claws, or like shoot one of his fangs off with a disarming strike?
You can try. You don't know if that's impossible or not, but you've never heard of that happening.
Well, I don't know because it's like I want to use the disarming strike, the superiority
Somebody
die
It probably
for the
won't.
damage anyway.
It probably won't work.
Okay. Um,
Pepperoni,
oh, that's fine. Well, in any case, I'm gonna roll the attack damage.
Go for it.
And I'm gonna
And
do.
it's a sneak attack.
It's a sneak attack, and I'm gonna use the fire. One charge of fire to mark him.
Pepperoni. Oh my god.
How you
Hurts
doing
so
over
bad.
there?
He's trying to put you back, but
I
it's not
know.
going very well.
I see
We need to get some
that.
of that
It's a
music.
sign.
It doesn't.
Okay. That is
Help.
5 fire
5 fire
damage.
damage?
5 fire damage.
All right.
And then that is another 22 magical piercing.
Okay, very nice. All doing the full amount of damage that you would expect. It is just burning this individual. They take a shot from this crossbow. With the radiant damage as well, you can see they look a little hurt. But at the moment, their eyes still very clearly locked on Valis.
Don't blame him.
Valis, we have to move!
You say, that is your turn.
Yes.
That brings us to Alina. Billy, you're on deck.
Then help us kill the vampire.
Okay, I guess we're fighting
We're gonna
then.
die.
And she discontinues the casting of her spell. And she's gonna be like, well, here we fucking go. So, she is going to use her bonus action to activate flight. And she's gonna go that way.
Okay, you proc right off that rock.
You say she can move it about here. And she's Oh, and as she pronks away, she's like, "Good job, everybody except Valis." All did.
Echoes off the stones in this space. One of the wolves turns to the other wolves, and Valis would speak to animals. You could just hear them say, "Oh wow, that's rough."
Can I see him down there?
Up there, yeah, certainly.
Did I notice Valis's radiant damage did a good job, right?
Just sun beaming in the full amount of damage.
Okay, just regular full. Okay. Okay, so Alina's gonna be like, "Fuck you!" Pew pew pew. And that's an Eldritch Blast.
Absolutely.
I think
That's the
you'll have
purple component?
advantage because he is blind.
Yes.
Okay, I'll do them one at a time then. That's gonna be a 25,
25 hits.
a 21,
21 is a meets a beats it.
and a 22.
Those all hit.
Okay. Well, doesn't that just fill my bucket? So that's okay. So we've got 27 points of force and 5 fire,
Okay. 27 points of force and 5 fire.
and then because I have the pulley the pull you away feature
Yeah.
of Eldritch Blast. You know, the
Yeah.
pull you away feature.
Yeah.
I believe
My
I can
favorite
pull him 10 feet toward me.
You can indeed, and
So
that
I
does
will
provoke
do
an attack
that
of
in
opportunity
order
from
you.
Thelius and from Valis.
Yes. Okay, I did that.
And he would get advantage because it's the attack.
That's good.
Come on, Euthelius. Oh, don't make that face, Joe.
16, which is a miss.
And we should have
You
just
rolled a
let
2
him
and a
fucking
4.
die.
That motherfucker. You are the reason for our woes.
We're all gonna have,
I
have
found
to have a
them.
talk with
19 on the
Valis.
die.
19 is a
29.
Oh, that's a hit.
Let's see. Oop.
This took 101 sessions, but we found the woes.
Hold on. 2, 3. Right. I'm smiting, by the way.
Yeah.
9 magical slashing, and this smite's not that great. 11 radiant.
This smite's aight.
9 magical slashing.
20 points of damage
It's
total.
an aight smite.
Yeah.
An aight smite tonight.
Anything else, Valis?
Hold on. I might have done that wrong. 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh! Plus another 6 radiant.
Plus another 6
Forgot a
rating.
dice.
Okay, no problem. Anything else, Valis?
That was just my attack of opportunity. I'm done.
Okay,
That
so
6 really changed.
with that
the
attack of
game.
opportunity, you strike, and they are starting to look a little bit rough.
Hell yeah.
For the first time, you can see the hair a little bit frayed. You can see there's elements of the skin that is beginning to look actually undead. Before it was just pale. Now it's beginning to look a little bit taut and dry. But they are still up, still focused on you.
Dry him out.
They move 10 feet further away. And then, Alina, anything else?
No, because I already said fuck you, and yeah, no, I'm good.
To me, right? To Valis.
Everything.
As a legendary
It was gonna be
action,
so cool.
Damn, it's
they take a bite attack. There's nobody in melee range. And so they just flash out in the darkness.
There's a wolf in melee range.
There is a wolf in melee range. It's really more for flavor than anything else. But that is their... well,
bites. the
no, you know
wolf.
what? Hell yeah,
Eats
there
the
is a
wolf.
wolf. That is a hit.
He's gonna suck up that wolf.
He is.
Yeah.
He wants to heal.
That is going to be only 9
Does he
points
only
of
get a
piercing
little bit
damage,
because
but-
it's not pure humanoid blood?
No. Nice roll. Good, too. Well...
Is it just like any blood's good blood for this guy? He doesn't discriminate.
That is
Hold on.
going to be a total
He
of
just likes Pepsi.
21 points of necrotic
Not a
damage.
sponsor.
And they regain a little bit of their health.
I think there's a chance to get a wolf on our side now.
I think
They
it's probably
dig
still-
their fangs into the wolf. In this moment, you can see they recognize that it's a mistake, but they still just suck deep into this creature, and you can see it instantly just wobbles. The front legs get weak. This creature looks a little bit rough now, but the creature just spits it aside and again hisses, looking for you, Valis.
Did anyone else ever
That
pretend
is-
to be a vampire when you drank your Capri Suns?
Yeah, Alina, Billy.
I'm going to murder both of them.
And Billy takes a running leap off and Misty steps.
Okay.
And Misty Step, Joe, would get me about here. So my goal is to tuck and roll here. Is that a thing I can do?
I would say, yeah, if you make a dexterity saving throw and it's decently high,
If I fail, is it just damage?
it's prone and damage.
And just
Okay.
embarrassing.
And probably like
More
emotional.
instead of rolling elegantly down, you just go, ah, fuck.
You are still within range for Minka to cast Featherfall on you, so it would just be the most, the
Even
most
more embarrassing. I
awkward
knocked
fall.
myself off.
Is it advantage or disadvantage
I think
or anything
I'm
like
one
that?
Flat.
with the map
Flat.
now.
That's gonna be solid.
Oh, I guess I went all the way over there.
13 loss.
Billy, you leap, turning into this misty form and thinking that you'll reorient yourself when you get to the ground. You right in front of the ground, and you realize you do not have time. Your face impacts the stone, and you do take 2 points of bludgeoning damage.
That's fine.
How many
And you are
pride
prone.
points of
You just
damage?
kind of like eat the ground as you just scrape along.
That's
you
fine.
also take-
Half movement.
Oh, damn.
Fuck you!
24 points of
No, get
pride
outta here.
damage.
But
Billy ain't got no pride.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, not anymore.
Ah, she's immune.
She's gone negative.
And then, as an action, Billy pulls out Cinderson and makes a melee weapon attack against any creature you can see within 15 feet of you.
Oh,
He's now
yeah.
15 feet.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's an advantage because he's blind.
Yes.
It is.
Delicious.
Oh my gosh, I rolled double on that. So that's going to be a 22 to hit.
22 is a hit. Just barely. You leap across, you just eat the ground hard, but as you do, you reach out and thrust Cinderson forward, and the blade itself explodes out. You are not close enough, but the sword makes it not matter. It crosses the distance for you.
Here, if you could put Billy next to Vampire Dude.
Like right next to him.
Like with the high ground?
High ground.
Yeah, but Billy, I don't think you can because it'll...
Is it not? The sword isn't shooting a beam. The sword is
No,
like.
Billy
the
is
sword is-
pulling me forward.
I
yeah.
gotcha. I gotcha. Okay.
Billy is pulling me forward. That's a phrase I said.
Yeah.
All right, and Billy's gonna throw on a blade flourish.
Go for it.
It's gonna be a defensive flourish.
Probably.
All right, so that's 12, 15 points of magical piercing, 3 of which are also added to my AC,
Very nice.
and 5 points of lightning damage. And then I think it's a calm. And an additional single point of lightning damage to the wolf.
Nice. It's just off the hair a little bit.
He's got a bit of static now.
Yeah, no problem.
All of a sudden goes poof.
Anything else, Billy?
That was my action. And for a bonus action, he is now visible in front of me. Hexblade's Curse.
There you go. The Hexblade's Curse just sinks around them, but you leap out, dealing this devastating attack, basically making a melee attack across a 50-foot space.
Yes.
Fantastic. That is your turn, Billy, and that does bring us to the wolves.
That was on the highlight reel for sure.
So, for the wolves,
I do things sometimes. I'm never using that again.
here, leap up on Billy.
Of course he is. I'm right there.
Oh, perfect. Billy. You're having a vampire weekend over here.
Oh,
And then
Billy loves that bard group.
you saw them in Petrichor, but you didn't get to talk to them. They're gonna dash.
Billy's wearing their t-shirt underneath her armor.
Yeah.
She doesn't want anyone to know because it's a little too mainstream.
Kind of running around to take an attack around that.
They
So
played on the
these
main river from
wolves-
Lake Tarkana and everyone saw it.
There's 2 that are gonna get attacks on Billy. One is gonna get a. Oh, actually, he's not gonna. Despite the fact that the vampire bit him, he's not gonna attack his master. He is gonna turn. And just tuck him up with that.
Cheshire's just singing us an epic fight song as we are up there.
So, Billy, you're going to be taking
also
attacks
wondering
from
what the fuck
2.
is wrong with us.
Valis will be taking attacks from 2 as well.
I remember when we had a plan. Remember when we spent an entire week in a text chain having a plan?
I mean, we
Billy,
had a lot of
Remember when I was
plans,
like,
and
it's cool that we are talking about all these plans, but
You forgot to include
something's gonna happen right at the beginning.
You forgot
Billy.
to include Euthelius in the
Does a
text
10
chain.
hit?
Nope.
Yeah, that's
Does a
true.
14 hit?
Nope.
Does a 28 hit? It
Silver
is a
barbs.
Okay, that was a natural 20.
Oh,
And that is a natural 1. As you silvery barbs this wolf, they lunge towards you. The Hexblade's Curse almost leaps out and just shoves the wolf away, and it just slams and it falls prone right next to you. That is that wolf that is just kind of down and prone. The other one that is on the other side,
Which one is the prone one? So we can flip them over.
the one that is like closest to, yeah, that one. The one that is closest to, that is attacking you but closest to Vincent. The low attack there is going to be a 21.
Yeah.
Okay,
Sadly.
so Billy.
even with the flourish. Oh,
Oh,
damn.
ooh, okay. That is going to be 10 points from the first,
Okay.
14 from the second,
Okay.
and only 8 from the third. Can you make a strength saving throw, please?
Hate it. Am I? No, I'm not close
No,
enough to
you're not
Valis.
close enough, unfortunately.
Ooh, that's a 19 on the die.
With a 19, it tries to drag you down to the ground, but you resist. The defensive flourish just beating the head away from your body. It cannot stay in range, but that's both the ones that are attacking you. Valis, the ones that are attacking you, the first one.
You
Oh,
deserve
boy.
it.
You do deserve
Valis, the high roll
Oh no.
is a 12.
Oh!
And so though this creature slashes and bites at you the same way as the one that does Billy, you up on this high steed seem to be invincible against it. The second one,
From across the battlefield,
cute
you just hear
doggy.
Billy shout, "I'm gonna murder you!"
the second one is a little bit better. The low roll is an 18.
That will miss.
The next one is going to be a 21.
Meets it, beats it.
Okay, so 2 hits. The first one is going to be 12 points of piercing damage. The second one is going to be 18 points of piercing damage. And can you make a strength saving throw, please?
Let's see, like 22?
22. It tries to drag you off the horse, but you just kick its head away. You are unable to be taken off of this creature, and it is unable to knock you prone.
You
These
guys, I just
wolves
watched Valis kick an
close the
animal.
distance.
What an asshole.
Damn.
Maintains his
Evil.
concentration.
You can see there's like a wolf in the distance that has like a little suit on and a briefcase. It's just shaking its head no. But no problem. That is all the wolves. That does bring us to the top of the round and to Orthaniel. All of his legendary actions are regained. They are now standing sort of surrounded by everybody. They're still blind, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
They ain't seen no nothing.
Their regeneration does not kick in, as they did take that radiant damage on their last turn. So, at disadvantage, not needing to move or do anything of that nature, they are going to attack you, Valis, 4 times.
Wait, the not.
He got
He's
pushed
not in
back
base
10
Oh, he
feet.
did. That's
Yeah.
true. Yeah. Okay.
There's a wolf in between them now. So get.
I love you. Actually, the
Billy is
second,
in
second
base
time.
contact, right?
Billy
Yeah.
is in base
Yeah.
contact,
So-
but Billy has the high ground.
They're going
That's
to attack you. They can only be at disadvantage once. And so, blind, they are attacking you at disadvantage 4 times, Billy.
4?
Oh, yeah.
That's a lot.
That's so many.
Billy, if this was not disadvantage, it would have been a natural 20.
Thank God.
However,
He can't
as it is
see.
not a natural 20 and he cannot frickin' see, that is going to be a 15 to hit.
Nope.
Second attack, that is going to be lower. You know what? These guys not really
No,
good.
keep him.
keep
Keep
rolling
him.
You
Okay.
made your bed.
They might roll higher. Just keep going.
That's fair. But 25 to hit.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
Cool.
blindly lashing out for Valis, they instead sink their teeth into you. First, Billy, you are only going to be taking 13 points of piercing damage, plus... 19, 20, 21. That is going to be
Too many.
21 points of necrotic damage, and your hit point maximum is reduced by the same amount.
Ain't that.
And then their final attack. That would have been a natural 20, but instead, it is just a 23. This is not a bite attack, it is just a simple unarmed strike. And with that simple unarmed strike,
You take 1,000 points of damage.
you are going to be taking 22 points of slashing damage. They bite their fangs into your arm, they slash up across your face, but they are all out of actions. That is their... Oh, you know, as a... It doesn't really make any sense. They can't really disengage.
Could disengage, but like
10.
he's blind.
I am at 10 HP.
Oh really?
Yes.
He doesn't know that.
Okay. But I do.
So having bit Billy...
I,
having
ju-
a sense
I just
for
took
where they are,
99 points of damage in a single round.
really can't really- No, they're just going to stay right where they are. Yeah.
Could move back.
Hesitate.
Drinking deep from that, Billy, you can see they do look a little bit haler and hardier than they did previously. And your blood, for what it's worth, does seem to give them a lot more health than the wolves did. But that is their turn. All of their legendary actions are regained. That brings us to
Because I have a varied diet.
Minka, you hear that hissed from Billy off the carpet.
We'll say
What would you like to do?
Cheshire is holding on to you and will move with you.
Yeah.
So just where you go, I'm going.
So, Minka's holding on to Cheshire, and she's just like, dang it, dang it, dang it, dang it. She's gonna channel the dragon to float up a little bit so she can see what's happening. And so she sees Billy getting like chorped to hell.
Yep. There's a lot of chomping down there.
And apparently vampires don't like sunlight, right? That's a thing.
Seems to be.
Our last email.
For my last sending.
So what she'll do is that since Billy is within 60 feet of Minka, she's gonna cast Daylight on Sinterson.
Okay. Very nice.
That's foolish.
Very nice. So Billy, as this individual just bites into your you're doing daylight?
Yep.
Okay, there you go. 1 sec. Daylight I know is a little bit funky.
Daylight is a 60-foot sphere of light spreading out from a point I choose in range. Bright light, and the sphere is bright light and sheds dim light for an additional 60 feet. So it's a 60-foot bright light and 60 feet additional of dim light.
One of the wild
battery.
things about daylight
Yeah.
is that it's not
flying
technically
right now.
daylight.
He flew over.
It's not sunlight.
Right.
So it is bright light.
Yes.
And so whatever effect that will have, you imagine will certainly take place. But this is not the same as sunlight.
Correct. But it does dispel any magical darkness.
Correct.
So if anyone tries to redarken the area,
Yes.
it will continue to be bright.
Very much so. So around Sinterson, the entire area goes bright. Ori, for you, having to be in dim light to be able to have a fly speed, suddenly you feel a little bit less mobile. But in this moment, there is just a bright light that throws dark shadows across everything else. Anything else, Minka?
Yes. So since who has the 60 foot? So
Always fabulous.
my fly speed is 20, so I think I can get a shot on the vampire, right?
Yeah, if you fly,
What's the range of your attack?
60 feet.
Oh, then yeah, 100%.
Okay, cool.
you're like already within 60 feet almost.
Okay.
So you're just flying like up a bit.
Yeah, just a little bit. Cheshire's coming with me because we are now a single
We
unit.
are one.
I was imagining like
Oh, can we
Cheshire
get
still
that thing
standing
then?
on the stone, but you
No.
like floating 5 feet off.
It's not
We're still holding
fit there.
hands.
Oh, I have another one.
I'm gonna cast Starry Wisp.
Star you.
Starry
Beast.
Wisp.
That is a natural 20.
Very nice.
Oh, 31.
Very nice. That is a hit.
Fuck him up!
Okay, so that is
I'm gonna die!
almost max damage. So that's 22 on the dice, so that's 44 radiant damage.
Very nice. They all of a sudden, after they drank from Billy's blood, they looked significantly stronger. Like they had been bolstered, like they were faster, like they were just almost invincible, and instantly they are more hurt than they have ever been. With that mote of starlight, it is like it overwhelms their defenses. They hiss, and though they are blind, you can see they look out trying to find the source of that damage. You feel like you will almost certainly be a priority target. Anything else, Mika?
No.
Okay.
That's those turtle eggs, bitch!
That is your turn. Minka, that brings us to Cheshire. Actually, when does the blindness end? End of your turn?
I think it's the start of my turn. Until my next turn. So
Until your
I
next
guess
turn.
my start of my next turn.
No problem. So then I think they will use their legendary action to take an attack at disadvantage against Billy. That is going to be a 16 to hit.
No!
All right. And
Not
so
even
they
on
are
a bad day.
unable to bite. Still blind, with the radiant light now just glowing off of Sinterson, they hiss and shy away. But that is their legendary action. At the
Billy
end of
hisses
Minka's turn.
back.
That brings us to Cheshire.
Cheshire is going to continue to maintain the counter charm,
Okay.
but we're going to introduce the last of the series with Valis the Violent.
You were just trying to run away, but Valis chose violence, and you let everybody know. Absolutely, you begin to play the song. Anything else, Cheshire?
Nope, I'm moving with Minka.
All right. At the end of your turn, this vampire, now unable to bite into Billy, will hiss and try to bite Billy again. Billy.
Fuck you.
Much better. That is going to be a 25 to hit.
Yeah!
All right. So,
Bye!
biting in, Billy, that is going to be 16 points of piercing damage.
Goodbye.
You are unconscious?
I am unconscious.
Unfortunate, because
I'm
Billy,
so excited now.
in addition to that, this is part of the same attack, so this is not when you are already down.
He's sucking
You
up.
are taking 17 points of necrotic damage. Your maximum is reduced by that same amount. And they regain that amount. Second here. Billy, you go unconscious as they drain the last of the blood
Not
out of
cursed
your
anymore.
veins.
Damn,
You are
there wasn't
knocked
that
down
much
to the
left.
ground. They take the last
Even before.
of this kind of this blood, and they just drop your body on the ground. For where you are, Lena, you can see Billy just lifeless on the surface of the earth.
No,
They
not lifeless,
drop them.
unconscious.
You can see the eye is still blackened and blind, but they look around trying to find Valis still. That is their legendary action at the end of Cheshire's turn. That brings us to Euthelius. So Euthelius
Oh, that's who that is.
For the future.
here is going to take 3 attacks against the vampire
At advantage.
at advantage, which is good because he rolled a 1, a 3, and then an 18 on the other one. First, I'll reroll the 18.
Pull it together, man.
So that is 1 hit. The other 2, all of them are hits, and one of them is a natural 20. So that advantage,
God.
the blinded condition, really paying off. So the first strike is going to deal 10 points of piercing damage. And then we'll do the other part later. The second one, which is the critical, is 9, 18, 23 points of piercing damage. And then... Okay, so as one of these little chains pierces, you can see it hooks into the flesh of this vampire, and it becomes this radiant string of light that traces back to the armor that Euthelius wears. And you can hear Euthelius chant out in Elvish these arcane words as they cast banishment. And it forces Orthaniel to use one of their legendary resistances as they had failed that saving throw. But they resist this urge. You can see all of their physical form kind of wobbles. They begin to become incorporeal. And then you can see the thirst of Orthaniel just keeps them anchored to this plane. They continue to look for you, Valis, but that is Euthelius' turn. At the end of their turn, they will use their final legendary action to make an attack against Euthelius at disadvantage. And that is only going to be an 18 to hit, which is a meets it, beats it on Euthelius. That is going to be 15 points of piercing damage. And...
Are they
unarmed
within
strike.
base contact now?
Yes.
So
Euthelius is
Euthelius
5
moved
foot
up.
closer, yeah. That is Euthelius' turn. That is Orthaniel's legendary action. That brings us to Valis, or you are on deck.
Okay, so
Alright.
quick
Oh.
note. I just realized that Starry Whisk is also an action. So I could use the archer instead to reach him because that has a much longer range.
Gotcha.
So we would be back on our hill because we wouldn't be able to float forward.
There you go.
Billy is still within range, so the daylight would still occur.
Okay.
And the only other thing is that it's 2d8, not 3d8.
Okay.
So do you want me to just take the highest die off of that?
I'll just take 4 off for the average. No worries.
Okay. Sorry about that.
Okay. No problem. Okay, excellent.
We're staying honest.
Valis, what would you like to do, or you are on deck?
First bonus action, beats a Jabbar Sunbeam straight ahead.
Okay,
So
absolutely.
Constitution saving throw
At
from
disadvantage, I believe.
all respective related parties.
The sun!
At disadvantage, that is going to be a 19 for Orthaniel.
Oh yeah, because
Am
he's
I
undead.
Am I in?
You're not in the Sunbeam.
Okay.
Sunbeam
And then
range.
2 wolves, I believe, right?
Yeah.
Your head, your dead head.
With it.
One of the
Be
wolves
like
is
a
going to be a
raisin in
20.
the sun.
The other one is only going to be a 10.
Alright, what was Orthaniel's?
A 19.
With disadvantage?
Yes. with
Aw, man.
disadvantage.
So he saves. Which wolf failed?
The one furthest away will fail.
Okay. Alright, so then that will be, for the failure, 27 damage. And half of that for the successes.
Okay. Which is 13 points of damage. One of which does damage to the one that was already hurt previously. Anything else, Valis?
Let's see. Yeah, I am going to... So I'm gonna have my mount disengage.
Okay.
And then he's gonna go over here so that I'm in base contact with the guy.
With the
Or
guy.
Daniel?
Yeah,
And I'm just gonna attack him twice.
go for it.
Talking horse.
Not a horse though.
Um,
It's a
Elk. It's
Oh,
winged
it's an elk,
elk.
right?
it was like
It's a
horse.
Elk.
yes. It looks like an elf. It just has wings.
It's so pretty.
26 to hit.
26 is a hit.
All right. I guess I'm just still gonna smite.
There you go. Go ahead.
Smite Orthangus.
Let's see. If I use that, it's these, and then this, and then this. Alright, so 8 magical slashing,
Okay.
and then 27 radiant.
Some radiant.
Lots of numbers.
Second attack.
Okay.
I'm probably gonna miss. 14.
14 is a miss, unfortunately.
Alright, and then I'm gonna fly. Let's see. Oh, I probably Oh, I just realized I'm flanking him with Orthaniel.
Yes, you are.
So I'm gonna roll. Euthelius, thank you. I'm gonna roll for the first one, see if it's a crit, and then I'm gonna roll for the second one to see if I did not roll better. Alright. So I
No
still
worries.
missed.
You leap over these wolves using the sunbeam almost just to cut across them in a huge swath and landing right in front of Orthaniel. You attack them, just pressing your advantage, smiting again and again. This individual, every time that you hit them and you deal devastating amounts of damage, they've just been draining Billy dry. And in this moment, they look at you, they are hurt, they have like burns on their skin, but they say, "You will run out of friends eventually." That is your turn.
And then I'm gonna
haunt
have
you.
the Pegasus, let's see, fly up and over here
Okay.
to see if I can fly. I'm gonna fly over here, like above him, to
Okay.
see if I can draw him away from Billy.
So you fly up. This individual's
that.
eyes clear as you do so. Anything else, Valis?
That'll be it.
Okay. That is the end of your turn. That brings us to Ori. Alina, your own deck.
I still have advantage from the high ground, right?
You do, yes.
I'm going to attack him. That's gonna be a 17 on the die, so I think, yeah, 30 to hit.
That's a hit.
It's a sneak attack, and I'm gonna use another fire. May I? So it's gonna be. Ooh,
So many
3
dice.
Yeah.
Find all the little puppies and tell
So
them that
that's
Alice said you're a bad boy.
11 fire
Okay.
and and 30 magical piercing.
Very nice.
And then I'm going to use a bonus action to use quick toss to throw one of the.
Go for it. Go for it. At this point, you can see the damage is really starting to add up. They tell Valis that they're going to run out of friends eventually, and then you shoot them straight in the chest, and this crossbow bolt just sinks in.
It's a 25 to hit.
25 is a hit.
And that's gonna be another. It's a d6. That's 18 points of, I think, piercing damage for the thrown dagger.
Yes. All right.
Magical.
And this dagger, as you throw it, you can see it hits exactly where the crossbow bolt hit. It splits the bolt straight down the haft and goes straight into his flesh. This is a tremendous amount of damage, and they're starting to truly look hurt.
I'm gonna action surge and hit him again.
There you go. Make your attack roll.
That's gonna be a 17 on the die, so that's gonna
That's
be
a hit.
another 30. I don't think so. This one's not a sneak attack, but I'm gonna use another charge. So now we'd be doing all charges.
Hell yeah.
We're fully charged. That's pretty good numbers.
That's pretty good.
That's 3 magical piercing
Okay.
plus. 9 magical piercing plus 20 fire.
Very nice. Looking really hurt is this creature.
And that is it for me.
All right. Valis, as this creature says that, suddenly Ori just unleashes 2 crossbow bolts and a thrown dagger. You can see the clothes beginning to ignite. In daylight, this person doesn't seem to be regenerating as quickly as they had in the past. They're starting to look rough. And though they had just spoken that you're going to run out of friends eventually, you can sense for just a moment, for the very first time, there is a hint of uncertainty to this person. But that is your turn, Ori. That brings us to Alina. Billy, you are on deck.
Alright, Alina's like, Billy, get up! And she's gonna cast heal from her waistcoat. on Billy.
Okay. So touching one of the buttons that has the elk's head, not the one with the skeleton that sort of triggers harm, but instead one of the ones that is living, you jolt the revitalizing forces of nature into Billy. And Billy, it is regrettable because it hurts a lot, and with the negative to your total health, you don't come back a lot, but you come back.
70 points of healing for you, my friend.
So, Joe, with the negative, does that, do I not get the full 70, or?
Correct. You would go to your maximum, whatever your maximum would be.
Oh, my maximum is above 70.
Oh, then yeah, you're fine.
Okay.
And then, hear me out.
Sure.
As a bonus action, can I please use telekinetic shove to set Billy on her feet?
I would say
Love it.
make a sleight of hand check. This is really,
Fair enough.
and instead of your dexterity modifier, use your intelligence modifier. Because you're,
Okay.
yeah.
So.
Oh, right, because you can choose which modifier for the.
No, but it makes sense in this because it's not a dexterity task.
Oh.
It's a brain task.
7.
A 7. You look at Billy, and with this kind of jolt of healing energy, you go a little overboard with the jaunt, and you just flop Billy right back down. Still in the exact same prone. Still, you take no damage.
Sorry.
It's just emotional damage. Oh, yeah. You are just
Hang on.
flapjacked.
How much? What's your max pride?
That is. Anything else, Alina?
Yeah, she's gonna be like, fuck him up, Billy!
Billy.
I'm sorry, also.
That brings us to you, Billy.
It might have gone under the limit.
Pride points? Yeah,
If you're already in the negatives, that is.
that's always rough.
Sir, why?
The term flapjack being
Pretty-
used as a verb.
Pretty good numbies over here.
No, let's not do that. There's a bad chance of that not working out.
What you doing, Billy?
We're gonna slash.
Okay.
Is he still in base contact
Yeah.
with Billy?
Yep.
Cool.
You standing up or?
Billy's standing up.
All right. You climb to your feet after being flipped end over end by Alina.
Bonus action hex.
You're welcome.
The hex sinks into this creature.
What
Yes.
what ability?
Hexed.
What ability score?
Oh, ability score. Let's go with Constitution.
Okay.
Fuck with that concentration thing. Or is that a saving throw for concentration?
That's a saving throw.
No. Well,
Yeah,
whatever.
so
We're gonna
yeah,
fuck with
yeah.
something.
Yeah, you're correct. But it's skill checks, not
It
saving
might
throws.
be a constitution check to
Yes,
drink
so
as
good.
much blood without
Well, I'm not-
getting drunk, though.
No, never mind.
And he's not currently blinded or incapacitated in any way, correct? All right. So one attack is definitely going to be a failure with 15, and the other attack is going to be a 25.
That is a hit.
Mechanically doesn't do anything. besides
Once again,
burns.
going for a blade flourish, so that we can get some added AC. Oh, and we have to roll for our hex damage. Wait, hold on. How much is it?
Who was that guy?
Okay, 1d6. Alright, so that's 5 points of necrotic damage, which I assume actually heals him.
No, it just doesn't do anything.
Cool, that's fine. I needed the hex for other things anyway. 5 points of lightning damage,
That does the full amount.
and 16 points of magical piercing, 2 of which go to my AC.
Very nice. You strike out at this creature whose eyes had drifted away from you, no longer concerned with you. You just stab them through this blind spot. Anything else, Billy?
Nope.
Okay. You stand up.
Nope, I used up my movement.
You take a defensive flourish.
He's like,
That is your turn. That
thought
brings
I
us to the
finished you.
wolves.
You've got more blood. Sweet.
oh,
Pretty much.
the last sip's always the best.
It's important to crush the box.
Someone's been around World of Warcraft.
Someone probably stands up.
Yes, I have.
Oh no.
So the
And
wolves climb to their
goodbye.
feet. There is that blind wolf in the corner that is just kind of snapping and cannot actually get into base contact with anybody, so they will just hold there in the hopes that somebody comes to them. For you, Billy,
Yeah.
you are taking attacks from two wolves.
Shocker.
On either side of you, they are pouring in these attacks. The first one is going to not do the best with a 9 to hit,
Nope.
a 13 to hit,
Nope.
and then a 25 to hit.
Yes.
That 25 is going to deal 11 points of piercing damage.
Okay.
Can you make a strength saving throw?
Sure can. That's less good. That's a 12.
So just you are just brought right back down to your feet. And then the
Prone.
final attack, or the other wolf is going to take those 3 attacks now at advantage.
Of course he is.
First one is going to be only a 12 to hit.
That's not going to hit.
Second one is only going to be a 16 to hit.
That does not hit.
Well, you are rolling around.
And the final one, much better, that is going to be a 21 to hit.
That hits.
Okay. That is going to be, with that bite, 8 points of piercing damage. And that is all the wolves trying to bite you. You dodge left, you dodge right. You are mobile on the ground. Over for the other 2 wolves, kind of kitty corner with Euthelius. That is who they're going to attack. The first wolf has 2 natural 20s and a natural 18.
Damn.
So they on
A silvery barb's the other.
first Cheshire's from a 20 to a 16 on the dice, which is still going to hit, but not a crit. For the other 20 from Billy.
Advantage to me.
Who do you give advantage to?
From a natural 20 to an 11 from Billy. And so, Billy, you are able to just throw one off. The other one is able to, I believe, with the 24 still hit. Or, I believe, yes.
Alina, you get advantage.
I get a what?
Advantage on your next.
Hooray!
Next thing of Baba.
Next thing.
Euthelius takes a total of 21 damage from those 2 wolves who just bite onto either arm. They are unable to pull him down off of his feet. But that is all of the wolves, and that brings us to the top of the round and to Orthaniel Bloodcross.
The
Like,
wolves?
Guys, I
their
was just kidding,
legendary
you can go.
actions. But in the daylight of Sinterson, they do not regenerate any additional health. And in this moment now, looking a little bit more nervous around them, surrounded and with the wolves here to buy time, they are going to bonus action disengage,
Of course they are.
and they are going to fly 110 feet off of the map.
And I don't get a reaction because I used silver
And
barbs.
using the boon of Samathorn, they are going to double their movement
I'm sorry, the who?
and continue to move another 110 feet.
I can still get them.
Really?
So they are how far away off the map?
So if they began 10 feet off the base of the edge of the map, they would be 210 feet off the edge of the map at the end of their movement. And
Yeah, it's 300
that's
feet.
movement and bonus action. Boon of Samathorn, action, they will also dash. And that will bring them to a grand total of 300.
Wait, is the boom not a
No.
Oh, what?
It's a
Um,
real boon.
It's a boon. From a guy that actually several of you released into the world. So thank you for that.
Fuck y'all!
This is now going to bring them 340 feet off the edge of the board. That is where they
so
will
far.
end their turn. That is Orthaniel Bloodcross. You can see off in the distance, they, for those of, well, with the daylight and then the darkness beyond, hard to see them. It would be very challenging.
Oh, but he's farther away.
He's significantly further away.
What was the number again?
340 feet
Off the map.
off the map. So that is his turn. That brings us to Minka.
Alright, so he just pieced right out there. So there goes my original plan. So all we can see left on the map right now are wolves,
Yes.
correct? Okay. So Billy's
I don't know
looking
if I
really
can.
pretty rough probably.
Looking better than I was, but still not great.
Not great. Okay.
It's the situation that looks worse than Billy.
Yes. Billy is having a day. Well, he's always having a day, but today is more day-y than other days.
That's Latin for God.
True. Okay, so I'm going to
How high in the air is he?
Just 10 feet off the ground.
10
Just
feet off the
zooming.
ground?
Yeah,
Okay.
So, this time we'll play by the rules. And now, dragon form, move forward a little bit.
Okay.
I can only move 20 feet, so I don't go very far, but just forward enough a little bit to get more in range of things.
Sure.
And I am going to. I'll start this. I'm gonna cast Moonbeam at 5th level,
Okay.
targeting the wolf that is behind Billy.
Okay, yeah.
Start
the one,
there.
Yeah, closest to you.
Nothing wrong with the last
That is a dex save?
It is a con save of 19.
That was pretty good, but their dex is not the... I mean, their con save is not the best. That is a 16.
That is a failure. So on a failure, they take. So it's at 5th level, so it's 4d10 radiant damage. Okay.
That's wild.
Since they failed, they take all of it. Right. Hold on, let me just double check that. Okay, so it's
made it before.
when you finish the roll, slot 3rd level higher damage is 1d for each slot above 2nd. Yes, that's okay. Cool. So that's 7. Terrible. That is 13 points of I rolled like shit of radiant damage.
Okay. You this huge moonbeam, and you expect elements of the fur to just rip off of the back of this creature, almost like a tractor beam, just dealing devastating damage. But it flickers here in the valley. It doesn't seem to be quite as impactful as you would hope for.
Dang it.
Anything
Alright.
else?
So it is a concentration spell, so it stays up. And that is a leveled spell. Everything else is leveled spells. So, for my bonus action, I'll just hold Cheshire closer and I'll try to make sure we both don't die during this crazy time.
Okay. You hold on to Cheshire, and really that's the tagline of the whole campaign. But you are able to maintain this moonbeam. That is your turn. As a legendary action at the end of your turn, Nathaniel will move an additional 220 feet off the board,
That piece of
To-
shit.
which will put him at 560 feet off the edge.
Write it down.
How much more? 200?
220 feet off. So 560 total. That brings us to Cheshire.
I think he's gonna get away.
Can I
Yeah, I think so.
see
Unless
any
he-
other enemies coming in toward us still?
Not
or
at the moment. You see these wolves.
I'm just
What's
gonna
your
hold on to
range?
me.
You hold on to Minka. That's a free action. But that is your turn. That brings us to Euthelius. Okay. So in this moment now, Euthelius, sort of fenced around by these creatures, he is going to throw these chains out towards the nearest one and take 3 attacks, the lowest of which will miss, but the other 2 are going to hit. The first, now building on the elements of damage. Wow, that's max damage. That is 24 points of damage from the first attack. And then 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 points from the second one. You can see 2 of the chains just hook into this wolf and just lift 10 feet off the ground and pull it in half. You can pull that darker wolf off to the side. Yep. That is Euthelius's turn. Actually, as their movement, they're going to get off the high ground and kind of get to the other side of that white wolf to make
Right here?
more. Yeah, to make more room. That is their turn. That is going to bring us to Valis, or you're on deck.
Okay. Alright, I am going.
hard right now.
But then I can't use. It's not magic, so it's just regular ass.
I had a chance before you bonus action move them farther away.
Legendary action.
Legendary action move them farther away. So now I feel like my only recourse. Can I have my mount have someone else ride him?
I don't believe so. Give me 1 second here. Let me take a look. Da-da-da.
It is greater.
Oh, is it greater?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you can. Yeah.
Alright. So I am going to... Let's see. So I am going to telepathically communicate to my mount to... I'm gonna lock eyes with Ori.
Okay.
I'm still like out there. I've got a shot, and I'm like, fuck.
And so I am going
Just
to...
got out of my range.
If only I had some sort of horse
If
to ride.
only I could get a bit closer than the amount of movement that I could conceivably
It
take in
takes
my
the
own
form of a
movement.
creature. It occupies a space, so I'd say yes, you certainly can have another creature ride it.
So I'm gonna I'm gonna dismount off my horse and tell him to ready an action to, if Ori gets on him, to fly as far.
Come pick me up.
Huh?
Can't he come just pick me up?
Can I just have him pick him up on my turn and have him move further, or do I have to ready an action for Ori to mount him?
So one thing I will say is, just for reference, Valis is aware of the fact that on several occasions Ori has been alone with vampires. And that has not always ended up super well for Ori. If you want to do this, you certainly can. I would say Ori could use his reaction to just jump on.
Okay.
Absolutely.
All right. Do you want to do this?
I want to try to get the kill.
Okay.
And this is how we lose Ori.
This is maybe why you have such an issue with vampires.
Well, you know,
Can't let.
they started it.
Valis, what you doing?
I'll finish it. One way or another. Either I die or they die. So
I don't want to, I don't think Valos would risk Ori like that. So I think he's just gonna fly. Do I know the vampire's name? Did he introduce himself?
He did not.
No one really knows his name.
Alright, so he's just gonna fly 180 feet that way, and he is going to lay on hands himself.
Okay.
Flies away and he's like,
Yeah, exactly. I was imagining that, yeah.
Flying away on his magical stick. This is like something out of an 80s.
he's like, I just need some alone time.
Billy spits blood. He's like, what happened to not leaving people behind?
So he flies 180 feet away,
Okay.
and he's gonna yell at the vampire. I forget the answer. Did he introduce himself?
He did not.
Alright, he's gonna yell.
I don't think he said anything to anyone except for Ori in his brain.
So he's gonna
And
yell
then
really
to you
loud.
when he's
Vampire,
like, tastes good, bitch.
do not run away, face me.
Okay. You fly as far as you can, just flying as quickly as your mount will take you. Does that use your action to move? That far?
No, I just kind of tell the horse to do it, so I still have my reaction. So I command the steed on my turn, so I'm just...
So it's the.
So I still have my... What's your question?
My question is, do you have an action still?
My action was to lay on hands
Okay,
myself.
no worries.
So I no longer have an action.
So words are free. You yell this out into the darkness. That is your turn. That brings us to Ori. Ori, Valis flies by you, makes meaningful eye contact the whole time, and then just keeps going.
Later.
How far? What's the distance now?
How far is he?
You cannot see him, but mathematically, he is 560 feet off the edge of the board.
I think about actually 550, because he was actually 20 feet away from the board when he started.
Okay, then yes, 550.
I'm
Wow.
going to switch out to my longbow,
Billy
Okay.
is on the ground surrounded by wolves.
knowing that this
And
is
everyone
like
is leaving her there.
not
I'm
really
very slowly
gonna
flying
do
towards
much
him.
anyway.
Do you have something to do that as a
We
free
shouldn't
action?
run. We should stay behind
to
and
switch
protect
my
the
weapon.
humans.
Yeah.
You can free action drop your current weapon as part of your movement, and
Okay.
extra action draw the
Yeah,
other
I'll
one.
just free action drop because the things. Yeah, I'll
Okay.
put it to the side.
No problem.
Just remember to pick it back up.
Yeah, you can take out the longbow, no problem. Dropping your magical weapon on the ground, where surely nothing bad will happen.
I was gonna
Well, like
hold
it's,
hands with you.
I'm high up.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'll pick it up.
Why do you say it like that?
To be clear, I'm not the problem here.
All he's doing is
I just
saying
wanted
what is
to-
happening.
For
out
sure,
loud.
not the
I'm gonna
problem.
steady aim,
Yeah.
bonus
There
action,
you
and
go.
I'm gonna take a flat shot because it's at disadvantage because it's past the normal range, but it's at
Correct.
regular because it's steady aim.
It would be at even more disadvantage because they're invisible now. But you, functionally, as you cannot see
be at
them.
more disadvantage
Exactly.
than 0. So I just gotta hope for 2 nat 20s, and here we go. That one's cocked. The first one's not an at 20, but it'll probably still hit. How does a wrong page 24
24 just barely hits. In the darkness, in the space, with cover, his AC is 23.
Just here very just
Um,
ow.
and that's gonna be I guess
And this is magical damage?
this is regular ass fucking damage.
Are you serious? Regular
This
ass
is just
arrow
a
damage.
regular ass arrow.
You don't need to roll damage then.
But no, because question, because I think this is the first time that this has ever come
Okay.
up. I have hit him with 3 marks of the crossbow.
Correct.
The wording of the crossbow says when I hit.
You need to be hitting
It
with
needs
the
to be
crossbow.
okay. I just
Yeah,
gotta check.
no worries.
I am gonna use my last superiority die.
Very nice.
And the only one that I can actually do is a disarming attack.
It adds more damage.
I'm just gonna do it.
Cool. What kind of damage does that add?
It adds, I think,
Magic damage?
Listen, Joe, we're just trying to kill your vampire.
absolutely.
Yeah, but
Would an arrow count as a stake, Joe?
no, but I love.
See if he gets it in the torso.
I think it's just the same as
I burned a luck point.
So it does the same amount of 0 damage as you
Damn.
burn the superiority die. You sense that in the darkness you hit him, and it just bounces right off.
But I bet the next time that I see him, he's gonna have an arrow and he's like, "You motherfucker!" And you're like, ah.
Anything else,
He's
or
gonna come up and he's just gonna spit it out of his
all
mouth
I
with
can
his
do.
all
long
right,
teeth.
that brings us to
so
Alina.
feckless.
Alina, you watch Ori just shoot arrows.
And then I go,
over the-
"Fuck!"
Okay, so as loud as she can, she's gonna call in the direction that Valis went. Valis, you swore to not leave anybody behind. Come back to us now. It's over. And then,
I need to make a wisdom saving throw.
having said that, she's going to turn her attention to the matter at hand, which is the fucking wolf.
Yeah, all around Billy.
Hello. Yeah. And so, sorry, Billy, you're still like awake, right? You're just prone.
I'm awake, I'm prone.
Okay.
I've been dragged down by wolves and they're all above me and chewing on me with their teeth.
Well, we can't have that.
It hurts.
Yeah.
One has a concentrated moonbeam just shining on him, like weird spotlight.
And the other
And
one is
Billy
like
is
looking really
daylight.
bad anyway. So yeah, there's 2 that are looking hurt.
Okay. Which of the 4 are there any that are looking like pretty healthy?
The one that looks healthiest is the one that is blind, actually, ironically enough.
Which one?
I don't think it's blinded anymore, actually, but the one that is has the black ring around it. Yeah, yeah.
Okay. And he's not blind anymore.
No, I don't believe so.
Which all right. So having oh, and I have advantage on my next thing, right?
Yes, you do.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Which one's looking rough?
The one
Sorry.
that is kind of diagonal right in front of you.
Okay. Let's
Directly
go
over
ahead
Billy.
and let's go ahead and do some pew pews. The first one will go toward the most hurt one. That's gonna be a 24.
That is a hit.
Alright, so let's do the damage one at a time, just in case he goes by. 10 points of force damage.
Okay.
Is he still up?
He's still up.
And 5 fire.
And 5 points of fire. He is still up.
Okay. Alright, this is the second blast. It was only 1 advantage, right?
Yeah.
Alright, that's gonna be an 18.
That is a hit.
8 points of force.
Billy, as this creature tries to bite down on your head, Alina just blows the back of its head out. It spatters across your face, but this wolf down onto the ground.
And then,
Instead of you.
which is the other one that was looking kind of on the rough side?
The other 2 white ones are both about the same.
Okay, and so she's going to send her last blast at this one.
Okay, that's the one that I believe is in the moonbeam proper.
It is.
Oh,
So you can
would
blast
Alina
it.
know not to like
No, moonbeam can be moved. It doesn't matter.
Okay.
Just fuck him up.
blast him? 16?
16 is a hit.
Aw, that's so Nice.
These are wolves.
And that's
Not
gonna be
vampire
13
lords.
points of force damage.
13 points of force damage.
And then just for funsies.
Okay.
How big is how big is Moonbeam?
Moonbeam is just a 5 foot.
Okay.
It's like a really awkward spot.
She's gonna use telepathic shove just to kind of yoink him and then drop him.
Okay. You yoink him and drop.
Yeah. Would that be enough to get a reaction, an attack of opportunity?
I'm prone.
Oh, you're prone.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I still do it just to send.
No
a message.
problem. You send that message. You bully an animal. That is your turn.
I do.
Alina, you
And
join
then-
Valis on
You're
that train.
evil too.
Yeah.
I joined Valis on the train.
Of
Being
being evil to
an
animals.
evil.
Yeah.
My best friend is right there.
Anything else, Alina?
No.
Okay.
Kicked a dog.
That is your turn, Billy. What would you like to do as Valis leaves you behind?
Billy rolls over and doesn't like get up, but watching like Ori like shoot off into the darkness.
I mean,
and
in fairness,
He didn't go anywhere.
Ori shot off into the darkness instead of helping out here while Billy's on the ground with tons of wolves. Euthelius is fucking useless, and then Valis just strides off far away. I was dead when he was
That's
good. And then Valis just rides off into the dark, just spits blood on the ground, and says, "Fucking murder all of you." And with that, those words, I antagonize the white wolf behind me, and I need a wisdom
Very
saving
nice.
throw.
Great,
Probably
great ability. That is only going to be a 14.
Great. Love that.
always like,
I'm trying to help. So that's 7 points of psychic damage, and he immediately goes to attack the wolf that's over there.
nice. And now it's wolves eating wolves.
He immediately, you said?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Can you
That's
just move him right over there?
This guy?
Over to the other.
So they
So
leap
like
out
right
of the
like this?
moonbeam, and they chomp on that person. That is only going to be a 10 to hit, which is a miss. But absolutely, you antagonize that creature, and as it rushes away, Euthelius will get an attack of opportunity. Actually, that is going to be a 23
Oh, wait.
to hit.
That's
No,
it was
the
the
other
other
one.
one.
Oh, the other one.
Yeah.
Never mind. Never mind. Anything else, Billy?
Billy stands up.
You stand up, climbing to your feet. It hurts.
It really does.
Anything else?
Damn.
Anything else, Billy?
Just fuck those guys in particular.
That does bring us to the wolves. So the wolf that you just antagonized is free to act again, right?
Mhm.
Okay, so it is going to turn confused, but then bare its teeth at you. The other one that is now kind of in the corner is also going to just close in on you, Billy. You are still taking 2 wolf attacks. Well, a lot of wolf attacks from 2 wolves. The first one is going to take 3. The low is going to be a 15 to hit.
Nope.
Then a 16.
Nope.
And then a 19.
Fuck off.
Okay.
Silver barbs.
Ooh. 20. That is going to be 11 points of piercing damage.
Deserve that.
That is the first wolf. The second one, one of them is certainly going to miss. One is a 16 to hit,
No.
and then the other one is a 24, which is certainly a hit. And that is going to be 11 points of piercing damage.
Great.
They grab you, and can you make a strength saving throw? 'Cause they're committed to keeping you prone.
How far away is Billy from you? Is she more than 30 feet? She's
Yes.
like 60
Yeah.
17 on the die.
17,
and
you
60.
keep your feet. It tries to drag you down, but you've been dragged down too many times. Not this time.
I get
You
knocked
stay
down,
strong.
and then I get back up again.
They're never going to keep you down, Billy. That is all the wolves. That brings us to the top of the round.
What's the mechanical distance on this guy?
You don't know.
Damn, he's rolling numbies though. He do be gaining more health back from.
If you were 20 feet this way, then I'd say that she is within.
It feels like we
At the edge
should
of 30
probably try to leave.
That is
before he gets
Nathaniel's
back.
turn. That is going to bring us to Minka. Cheshire, you're on deck.
Friend.
Okay, so, seeing that the wolves have moved and Billy is still having a bad time,
Yeah.
I'm just gonna check the distance on. I'm sorry, I'm assaulting you with my little bag thing.
Do I see anything off map?
Certainly not with that
Okay.
action perception check.
Okay.
Okay.
They're really far away. It's dark, and they're actively hiding.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's not
So
just
I'm
hiding,
going
they're invisible.
to stay where I am, but I will move the moonbeam to continue harassing that one particular wolf. I can move it up to 60 feet with my action.
Okay.
And then it's going to, once again,
Con save.
con save of 19.
That is cocked. It's possibly cocked.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's only when it starts its turn there, or enters the
Okay.
spell's area for the first time
Interesting.
on a turn.
Okay.
Does that trigger now then?
I would say yeah.
Okay.
That just makes sense to me.
Yeah, okay.
So that is for a save going to be a 17.
Does not make it.
Okay.
So that is once again. Meow.
The big man.
Man.
Criminal man.
Criminal man.
Man, the criminal.
The criminal.
These people are mean to animals.
No!
Oh, no, not like this.
Is
I'm
true
gonna send
man.
Hondo after you. No biscuits.
He has devastating biscuits.
Yeah.
It's fifth level. Okay.
He's got giant.
All right. So that is much better than last time. 36 points of radiant damage.
With 36 points of radiant damage,
Wow.
you concentrate further on the moonbeam and it just hardens and intensifies, and you just evaporate that wolf. It just tractor beams them up and like burns their fur away from their body as they flop back down in the wake of it on the ground dead. You can pull that other wolf off the map.
This one?
Yep.
Question.
Yeah.
Since it is a concentration spell,
Correct.
that's not. I didn't cast it this turn, so I can still cast a leveled spell this turn with my bonus action.
I don't know that you can do that while concentrating. Give me 1 second.
I don't-
here.
I think you can, unless the leveled spell is
I don't
also
think
constant.
so. I don't know.
Wait, you can
Oh.
cast. You can cast a spell if you're concentrating on another spell.
I know that you can with leveled spells. Give me just 1 second.
Yeah, 'cause, like,
Something.
The way that the
I remember there being wording specific to this.
Yeah, because like the way that it to balance it, so you're not just casting everything every turn. You can only cast leveled spells once
And then
on your
cantrip.
turn and the cantrips.
Yeah, but you didn't cast the spell.
You
Yeah.
certainly can cast
I
another
can.
spell.
Yeah, you
Okay,
can.
dope.
It's the
Then
casting, not the concentrating.
yeah. Okay, so Billy is within 60 feet.
Yeah.
I'm going to cast.
Yes.
Cast.
Yes.
I'm gonna. Okay, it's going to be a healing word at 3rd level, and it's just going to be Billy. Hang on.
I feel
and
so
then
healed.
It would. I'm going to. Oh my god! Roll the dice, you jerk. Sorry.
Okay.
No, I'm telling D&D Beyond because I tapped the thing to roll the dice, and then it was like, no, they don't have this many fingers. Okay, that's a total of 18 plus. That's wherever that went. 19 points of healing.
Very
Nice. Thank
So
you.
from your position, as you slowly flow down, you just flood more healing into Billy. Anything else, Minka?
That was my bonus action, and I choose not to move.
All right, that is your turn. That brings us to Cheshire.
Cheshire is riding Minka down to the ground or wherever we're going.
And
We
we're
are
just kind
one.
of vaguely floating.
Okay, yeah, no problem. You vaguely float as a free action. That is your turn. That brings us to Euthelius. Euthelius, convinced that he is not, in fact, useless, is going to take 3 attacks against this wolf. Natural 20 and a natural 1. And then a 13, which is a meets it, beats it mixed in between. So pretty much every exceptional thing that he could do with dice, he does. The first attack is going to be 12 points of damage. This wolf is beginning to look pretty rough. And then the second one, which is the natural 20, significantly better, is going to be a grand total of 29 points of damage. And they will rip that wolf in half as well, and then use their movement to cross the distance to the final wolf. That is all that they can do. That brings us to Valis, where you are on deck.
Alright.
Valis, you are called back by Alina. You call into the darkness. You hear no response.
Alright, so then I'm going to tell Musty to head back at haste. So he's gonna dash back, and I'm gonna just basically be back to here where I was before
Okay.
I ran. And then I'm going to, I guess, jump off and fall in this dog.
Okay, you just leap right off, plummeting down, using the momentum of the creature flying like 110 feet to just carry you into this attack.
So I'll just roll for the first attack as I.
Pet.
Ooh, 19 on the die, so 29.
That is a hit.
All right.
This dog is about to get
And
severe.
I am gonna suffer some fall damage.
Oh
so
yeah, yeah. We'll resolve that at the end. Don't worry.
Is some of that gonna transfer over to the
How far away are you?
We'll-
from the-
we'll see.
Impact damage.
Did you hear
between 30 and 60? Actually,
that?
yeah, between 30 and
I
60.
believe Featherfall has a range of 60 feet, and I have a reaction.
Are you gonna reaction Featherfall?
I will reaction Featherfall to
So
prevent
no
Valis
problem.
from...
We won't need to worry about that.
Cool. So as I fall slowly, as I was ready, and I realize I'm falling slowly, I guess I have some time, so I guess I'm just gonna point downwards and sunbeam going straight down into the
Phenomenal.
dog.
So Constitution saving throw for the sunbeam. That is going to be
Zap.
a 19.
He will need it, so that will be a. Let's see.
You got some.
25 radiant, half to 12.
Okay.
And then I will just attack him as I fall slowly twice. Natural 1.
That's like the first attack, and you're like, wait, I'm still 30 feet away. Slowly going down, slowly going down. Okay, now, second attack.
And then a 3. I'm not used to falling slowly. I'm not sure what's going on.
This is not part of the plan. You miss twice and just land directly in front of you. He is touching down lightly. Anything else, Valis?
I look around confused, and I see Minka looking worried at me. I'm like, oh, okay, I guess that's what happened. And I think that's my turn.
Okay, that brings us to Ori. Ori, where you are, you can see Valis just slowly fall towards his feet.
I want to use my bonus action to make a perception check to spot a hidden creature.
Make a perception check.
Looking off in the distance of where I... Oops, sorry everyone. Where I hit, presumably Orthaniel,
Sure.
with a feckless arrow of nothing.
You see a giant spear there.
Natural 20.
With a natural 20, you absolutely do. You needed a 32 to see this individual, and yet you don't see them. What you do see off in the distance, close to 600 feet away, is this area where there is just bits of blood dripping onto the ground. Probably not theirs, probably Billy's, but it is like the rough location of where they are.
You said about 600 feet?
Yeah.
Away? Yeah. So still roughly where I had hit him.
They have not moved since. They seem to be maybe waiting.
Let me say... It's about 600 feet away and looks like it's gathering strength or something. We should move now before it comes back. It's clearly very fast.
Bark, bark, bark.
Anything else?
Bonus action, or regular action, I'm gonna shoot the fucking dog.
Okay, make it a
I'm joining the squad.
Can't you hear you over the wolf?
It's, I believe, at advantage because I'm up high.
It is?
Natural 20. This thing's fucking
Whoa!
dead. And
It is a cross. It's the longbow.
yes.
So
And then
there's a
I was gonna say
monkey
I meant to pick it up, but it's fine.
Yeah, shoot the dog.
Did you dare leave that behind,
Yeah,
Ori,
no.
after everything we went? I don't
No,
think
I
you
was
went
gonna pick
through.
it up and drop back down, but then I realized that there's still a fucking dog left that needs to get fucking killed. So, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna murder a dog.
Yeah.
They are different.
Wow.
Wow.
Okay. So, that is...
Are you going to murder a wolf?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
And it will be a sneak attack as well.
For the
Yeah,
record, I didn't murder any wolves today.
Noted.
Good on you.
Today.
So that's 5...
I know.
Billy will remember that.
31 points of regular ass piercing damage.
Ori, tell us how it happens.
I'm like, I say that cool thing about the thing that I saw off in the distance and how we should move. And then I turn to go I go to pick up my crossbow and I see that there's still a wolf that's causing everyone problems for some reason. And so I'm just like, and then I pick up
Straight through the head. Just Valis, you missed twice, but you land right in front of it. You grab your sword. You are ready. It's going to be this epic showdown, and then right through the head, the creature hits the ground.
Got him.
Tongue rolls out. And for the moment, you are all out of initiative. Though, actually, what I will say is we're going to stay right in initiative. There is pressing concern. You feel that there is something just lurking right off in the darkness. And so you probably have maybe 1 or 2 rounds to do something. Is there a cohesive plan that you all have?
We should leave.
I'm going next and I have something to say to the group, so
Yes.
maybe that will help. Alina's gonna be like, Ori's right. Everybody circle up now and hold hands and I'll get us out of here.
Okay.
Wait.
How?
Why don't,
I have
okay.
plays.
instead of just moving towards the dome?
Euthelius, kind of crossing the distance towards Alina at this, will say, they will be able to keep up with us no matter what we do. Whatever you have in plan, do it now.
I can bring us to the Feywild. Everybody circle up and hold hands. And then she looks very coldly at
Is
Valis.
that better than here?
She looks coldly at Valis.
Where are we going?
To the Feywild. She looks coldly at Valis and says, you left Billy to the literal wolves. I trust that you won't turn your back on us again. Holds his hand and wait for
Okay.
Mingo will like bring Cheshire to the ground, and then once she's on the ground, she can actually move a lot faster. So she's essentially like half carrying Cheshire.
Sure,
as
yeah,
she
no
like
problem.
speeds towards everyone. in front of
So
her.
you rush along. Billy, you going as well?
Yes!
Okay, Valis, you going as well?
Yeah.
I'm actively
I want to
holding
make
on to Valis.
one last look back to see like what this thing's doing, but I am going.
Make a perception check as you join the circle. All of you rush over, Euthelius included,
Another natural 20!
and gather around. You can see with this natural 20, 2 of them in a row, even though they are invisible, you can see the lines of blood that they have drinking out of Billy kind of seeping into the wounds. They are generating health, they are gathering strength, and they are close to being able to come back and fight. You have a very limited amount of time. You would imagine 2 rounds, perhaps. But, Alina, everybody gathers around. What are
Are we
you
all
doing?
holding hands? Everybody?
Everybody's holding hands.
Planeshift! Sorry, that was loud. I apologize.
You focus on the waistcoat of the Nightmare Rider, and for the first time ever, you cast Planeshift, and you imagine, similar to Teleportation Circle, that there will be a gentle falling away, but it is not. When you Planeshift here in this space in particular, it is violent, and all of you are just ripped off the ground and feel as if you are flung into the cosmos. And because it is 9 o'clock, this is where we're going to take a break, and we will rejoin wherever it is that we find ourselves. But thank you for sticking with us for this session of Courts of Everest. There is a timer on your screen. We'll be back at the end of it. we're back.
Are we back?
All of us. Thank you
All
for
of us.
joining us for this session of Courts of Everest. If you are just joining us, welcome to our D&D campaign. If you are not, thank you for sticking with us through the break. All of us who come back on time, with the exception of a third of us.
It's Kara.
Oh, look at Kara.
I'm Kara.
Um,
No, what? I'm here.
Okay, now with Tina, we're all here. We are going to jump right back into D&D as you, Alina, cast Planeshift for the first time, concentrating on the waistcoat of the Nightmare Rider. You're all violently just jettisoned into the space between planes and just rip across the various planes. You feel hot, you feel cold, you feel the blistering pace of wind just going across your skin so fast it feels as if it almost strips it off. And then all at once, each of you feels your feet hit the ground hard. And you stand in a place where the floor is still very much stone, but it looks very different. It sounds different. Everything changes. Through this sort of space, the air is warmer. You can feel little bits of mist against your skin. There is no sort of astral eclipse above you. You see now the sky of the Feywild, though it is mixed in places with huge storms of swirling black clouds. Not clouds. You have seen this material before. This is the stuff of the Shadowfell, swirling, almost mixed with the Feywild here. Like currents of air, you realize that overhead the sky of the Shadowfell and Feywild meet and merge in places, swirling and becoming chaotic and gray between regions. On the right side of the land, you can see in front of you, there is green and purple grass that grows up this sloping hillside dotted with large trees, 50 to 60 feet tall. Each support tiny communities of fireflies that shed soft light on the space. This is certainly the Feywild. I would say, Alina, you recognize almost intuitively somewhere kind of mixed into the summer realm of the Feywild, this place often to your left. But often to your right, you can see the grass is dried and dead, where it pokes through the dry and nutrient-poor soil of the Shadowfell. The ground much different here. You can see broken kind of stones. It is much different looking. And then up the center, straight except where there is a staircase that zigzags up the increasingly steep hillside, there is a sprawling series of gray stone structures. There is a path of gray bricks that leads up to them, and where the dome of Alendor would be on the material plane, you see instead what looks like a sprawling monastery or temple. As chaotic and wondrous and awe-inspiring and scary as all of this might be, Ori, none of it registers with you, because standing up from a seated position no more than 30 feet away from you is your sister. You can see long hair and braids down her back, held out of her eyes with an iron and silver chain circlet with a trio of rubies at its center crest, above the brow line, wearing a red tunic that shows the crest of the Tower of the Crimson Mage, a chrysanthemum and a deep red silk thread across the tunic itself. She holds a Salicor staff that radiates with magical power. You can see there are just images of almost like draconic sort of features across this. At her side, you see a tall, high elf artificer, pale blonde hair, amber-colored eyes. They wear golden armor of the Ambersworn. You can see there is just this liquid, powdered amber that kind of flows through these test tubes in the armor itself. And they draw a sword. And as they draw this sword, you can see just these almost amber-colored butterflies seem to just burst around them. And as they surround this individual, they point the sword at you, Ori, stepping between you and your sister, and they say, "Halt! What business have you in this wretched place?" And they turn, they step between you and her, and they say, "Answer to me."
I am her brother.
You can
Get
see
out of my way.
for just a moment they
pushing
falter.
them aside.
Make us.
I'm
Are
trying
you-
to push.
are
I'm trying to wiggle aside.
Okay.
Yeah, sneaking.
You
through.
try to kind of wiggle aside.
I'm like sneaking through, you know.
Yeah.
Can I use
Bonus action
telekinetic
disengage.
shove to help move the guy?
You want to bonus action shove this guy?
I'm bonus
I
action.
can use telekinetic shove.
Okay.
To
I'm
pull
bonus
him toward
action
me or push him
disengaging
away
through
from me,
him.
and I would like to use that to help the momentum that Ori's trying to get.
Absolutely. So in this moment, Ori, make an athletics check. This is opposed, and I would say you don't need to do anything. They will make it opposed against you at disadvantage.
Phenomenal.
Alright, this is Ooh, let's go. That's good.
21.
That is a 27.
There you go.
Nice.
You shove them aside. You can see they move, and as you push them, it is like the armor and their body are one. Like they are almost like incorporated into it. They move aside fairly easily, but you can see they draw this sword, and I think probably because you are pushing them, they are going to take an attack against you.
Bonus action disengage.
Fair enough.
Right.
So you bonus action
I've
disengage, stepping across the
moved past
space,
the reaction.
and you step towards your sister. The staff is outstretched directly at you, and you can see a mote of energy that for you, Alina, is almost certainly fireball. And this is pointed directly at your face. And they say, "Get back.
Ellie.
I don't know who you are. I don't know how you know my name, but you are no brother of mine.
It's
Back." And they take like 10 feet of movement back. This individual in the artificer armor crosses again, standing between you and them. And they say, "Again, what business do you have in this wretched place? I will dispatch you now."
Ear for deceit. Is she pretending not
Make
to know
an
who I
insight
am?
check. And
Stop.
knowing this person so well, make it at advantage.
23.
You look at your sister, and unexpectedly, it's kind of hard to tell. There is something to them, unlike anything that you have ever seen. You see there are draconic scales that peek from outside of their skin. As they concentrate on whatever this spell is, they are manifesting sorceress power that you have never seen. Intense sorceress power. And they have no recognition of you. As far as you can tell, that seems genuine, but it is really hard to tell.
Gonna take a step back,
Okay.
but I'm not gonna like leave because fuck him. I'm gonna be like,
Take
Ellie,
a step back.
I'm here to help you.
Here to help me do what? You were sent by my father, weren't you? You're from the
No,
Magiocracy, I
no.
can tell.
No, yeah, yes, but I know our father because I grew up with you.
Anybody else saying anything?
I think at this point, once Mika like gets back on her feet after that wicked plane, she's like, "We are justiciars of the treaty."
Okay. Minka, you pipe up from behind Ori, and you see almost instantly the eyes of this artificer begin to kind of just look over each of you. And Valis, you always wear the badge, correct?
Hell yeah.
They spot the sigil of the Treaty of Four Seasons. And you see the tip of the sword lowers ever so slightly. And they turn and they nod. And the person that Ori has said is their sister looks at all of you and then lowers the staff. And that mote of energy just dies down. They keep the staff pointed at you, Ori. Lowered, but still pointed in your direction. You feel that there is tension still here.
Alina's gonna whisper, "Ori, they've been stealing memories."
We're here to help you, but we need to talk somewhere safe. What are you doing?
They look at you, and now, having identified you as the Justiciars, she says, "Who sent you here to help us? How did you know that we were here?"
Well, we were sent to the dome, but we were going through the valley and we were attacked, so we plane shifted here. And by chance, we found you.
But who sent you? And you can see she's taking her ring off as you do this. Billy, you have seen Rings of Non-Detection before?
Mhm.
Passes it back to this artificer.
Billy is kind of like watching the interaction and wants to take note of like the artificer.
In what way?
Artificer has armor on, yes?
Yes.
Whom associated with?
The Ambersworn.
It's the Ambersworn for
You
sure.
see Ambersworn armor, 100%, though much more ornate than you've seen. This is almost certainly a much higher ranking officer than Adimu. This is somebody who has some standing, almost certainly. Make a history check.
We're trying to remember the name of Izzy's character. That was
Adimu.
Adina.
15.
No, nothing outside of that.
No one sent us for you specifically. I have come myself, but a lot has happened, and we need to talk.
At this point, Minka's gonna make an insight check between Ori and his sister,
Make an
and
insight check.
try to figure out like not phenomenal, but
Okay.
hang on, 17.
It's confusing because both are telling the truth.
Okay. Adimu put us on your trail. She was worried about you.
Yes, we
were
found
able to save her.
Adimu after in the caves. We helped her get back to the city.
The artificer, their sword no longer kind of drawn. They sheathe it, and the little amber butterflies kind of just pop. But they kind of look over to you, and they say, "The Lady Elissarai doesn't know every single member of the Amber Sworn, and neither do I. But you are right. This is a dangerous place."
What are you trying to do? I'm not talking to that guy. That guy.
Okay. He turns and looks over his shoulder. Give me 1 second here.
I'm talking to my sister.
And she looks at you and she says, "You said you know my father."
Yes.
She's going to make an insight check on you. She squints her eyes, and you get the sense that she doesn't fully trust you. But she says, "Then there is danger for you here as well. He is up to something more than simple politics, and I mean to find out what."
I have some ideas. I think we can help.
Make a persuasion check.
It's D4.
Can I help?
How are you helping?
I want to help by saying,
I'm gonna wait for this help to determine. It's like,
How are you helping?
I thought about using your real name, but I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to say Ori isn't lying to you. We were sent here by Hearsome as the Justiciars to check the integrity of the
With
dome.
the mention of Hearsome, make that check at advantage.
We helping.
Waiting for someone.
do I re-roll the guidance on? Or
Guidance.
does it
Guidance
just
gets
the-
added to your final
the
roll.
flat.
The final
Alright, so
roll,
I'll
yeah.
put that there.
Is that worse?
For a total
Much
of?
worse. The first one was a 13.
Sir.
She looks at you and she says, "I do not trust you. I do not recognize you. And you are from somewhere close to home. But if you mean to help, I will allow you to prove your worth. What do you know of the Shattered Spear?"
The sphere. The dome. Is that what you're talking about?
"No. It is this place that you have come to." And she gestures, and you can see overhead where the Feywild and the Shadowfell mix and meet. You are not truly standing within the Feywild. You are, but you are in a place that is badly damaged. And this is a place where the Shadowfell and the Feywild meet.
What?
And certainly, Cheshire,
Tears.
you are looking at a massive tear.
I know that this is some sort of tear between the Feywild and the Shadowfell, but my friend.
I am wounded, Ori.
My friend, she knows
Wounded!
more about that part of it. I'm not well versed in magic.
Minka will like
Very
breaks
soul.
the ice.
Damn, I can't believe you just said
At this
that.
point, Alina will jump in. At
Hang
this
on one
point.
sec.
Oh,
Billy?
sorry. Oh, sorry.
Billy just kind of like steps forward, not like to intervene in this, but more towards the artificer.
Sure.
Because that's not
That's not touching that.
And says, "We have been sent here to deal with the dome and the things it is currently letting out. Not much is able to be given to us due to certain rules of the pact. We are aware of some tower involvement either parallel to this weakness in the dome or concurrent with." And Billy pulls out the vial with like the red runoff.
The eyes narrow, and you can see, completely unguarded, they've been really hard to read so far, but Elissarai, this elf with the braids, her eyes open wide. And she takes a step forward and she says, "Where did you get that?" She completely loses track of Ori.
This was found in the runoff of the Emerald Spire underneath the Enclave.
She goes to take it. Do you allow her?
It is the one piece of evidence we have held.
Do you allow her to take it?
I do not.
Okay.
I just kind of like hold it, and I hold it up for her to see.
Okay. She recognizes that you're not going to let her take it, but she gets close and holds her hand underneath it and illuminates it with a magical light. And you can see it does sparkle, almost like there is some kind of crystallization within it. But she turns and she nods to the artificer. And she says, "It's real."
It's real. Could you perhaps elaborate?
This is what we believe is causing the Wakepeter flu.
Yes.
That's what we found too.
My lady, if I may. We believe that this is indeed the source of the Wakepeter flu. We also found evidence that people are trying to hide it, cover it up, by stealing from others and those who have it. And perhaps you find people around you have gaps in their memories.
They've been stealing memories.
I'm not speaking to you. Continue.
I would listen to that one.
Why?
He holds many answers. And as she says gaps in her memories, she wants to see if there's like any twinge.
Nothing that you see.
For I think there's something to be said when one does not recognize someone who has lived in the same area as another for a long time.
She looks at you and she says, "I take it you're not familiar with the Magiocracy."
I am familiar enough. There
Then
are
you
many
know
people.
why he would not associate with me.
Ori,
He's empty.
if you wouldn't mind. If you wouldn't mind. You carry something with you that might help.
Okay. You take out this staff. Are you unwrapping it?
Yeah, I'm gonna unwrap it, and I'm gonna just hold it for a second. And then I'm gonna like, kind of, like, when I saw you last.
She almost like withdraws from it, but then takes it out of your hands and moves it around, and she says, "I did this."
You gave this to me the last time I saw you.
She holds it close and looks at you. And now it's not distrust, it's genuine confusion.
So you see, my lady, gaps.
Gaps. I don't know who you are.
It's okay. We're here to help.
I believe that our purposes may be aligned after all. And it sounds as if you know that the ritual is stored here. If there is a fault in the dome, perhaps we can find out why.
And again, I would listen to this one.
Very well.
Since
I apologize.
It's alright.
Cheshire is like burying her head into Mink, she's gonna whisper, Mika,
gonna make a
Cheshire, can you see any strings attached to her?
Do I see any strings attached to it?
You turn and make a perception check.
That I can't math tonight. That is a 23.
With a 23, you do. In the same way that everybody has strings attached to them, there are some that are attached to her, but you do note that, similar to Valis, unlike many other people, there are a distinct lack of strings connecting to one particular region, the head.
Mm-hmm.
You're not quite sure what that means, but you're free to draw your own conclusions.
Is there somewhere we can go that's a little less out in the open?
This is the safest place here. The madam will not interfere with our comings and goings as long as we damage nothing within the monastery.
Who is the madam?
The Madam of Dark Reflections. Have you not prepared at all before coming here?
I was trying to bring us to the Feywild. I
You're
missed.
within the Feywild.
That's the Feywild. This is something different.
Well, no, not really.
Is it like where the ship was?
Minka, as you say that, remembering back to that ship that straddled 3 planes, almost exactly. Yeah, this is a place where perhaps a little bit more violent in the creation, but certainly this is a place where if you go off in some directions, if you go off to the left, you could walk straight into the Feywild. You can see just rolling summer hills. You see just glowing sort of like crystalline structures in the distance peeking out amongst the trees. And then looking off to the right, that is truly the Shadowfell. And if you walk to the left, you don't know that you could come back here. If you walk to the right, you don't know that you could come back here. But in the center, you look at a structure that seems as if parts of it could be in both. This structure, what you're seeing on the outside, probably not reflective of what is within. But to rote, because you can see it directly in front of you,
We get things!
Ooh!
Presents!
find
Present!
that is what these structures look like. And currently you are standing south of this, and so the pathway leads up to that sort of black mark in the front of the front building, and the black marks there are entryways that from here you can see there is just a sharp beam of light that comes out of the entryway, almost forms like a spotlight 5 feet out from it.
So, we are underprepared because I did not know we were going to land here. We were in a hurry. So any information you can tell us would be greatly appreciated.
You can see she's still holding the staff and still looking at it, but as she looks at it almost absent-mindedly, she says, "This site was chosen because it connects to many planes, at least 5. And because of that, the souls that filter through here are plentiful. She stores them in mirrors, and gathers power from them.
Is she dangerous? Malevolent?
Dangerous, yes. Malevolent. That's hard to tell. Do not damage her mirrors. You might be able to free the souls from within, but it will be at a great cost."
What are... I mean... They're trapped then, the souls.
Between life and death, yes.
Don't like that.
From our prior experience with fucking mirrors, does Billy know anything about the Madam of Mirrors? Or the Madam of
Make an Arcana check.
Reflections?
Reflections?
The Madam of Dark Reflections.
Oh. Does that count? Please be my judge. Does
Where?
that count?
Can you balance another die on top of it?
Yes.
Then yes!
Natural 20.
Excellent.
You've heard of a lot of individuals from your aunties,
Mhm.
and this was not one of them.
Mm-mm.
And so this strikes you that it's probably not a hag. And looking around at a place that straddles the Feywild and the Shadowfell, that doesn't leave a lot of other options. But as you hear the way that this person speaks about them, they're not malevolent, they are dangerous. There are other entities that you have met that fit that description. They're called Archfey. And you get the sense that this might be one of them. You've never heard of them directly, but you get the sense that you should be very mindful of your manners and any deals you may make.
I'll be right back.
Okay.
Beep boop, beep boop, beep boop.
Don't step away too far.
Speak the words of power. And you hear, yes, hello.
Hello, Harrison.
Ah, Billy.
Still have the stone. So we are at the border between the Feywild and the Shadowfell and apparently 3 other planes. We are close to the sanctum of the Madam of Dark Reflections.
It was the sphere, right?
The Shattered Spears.
The Shadow Sphere is what it's called, yeah. So you say that, and he says, ah, delightful.
Can you share any information about this individual, or is this butting up against that which shall not be named?
The Madam is a fine dinner companion
Oh.
and has many wonderful stories to tell. Many from Mythelstreen and from Gath and Ganon beyond. I would not make any deals with her, and I would not damage any of her property.
I would... Any potential words to sway maybe a certain paladin who feels very strongly about souls being trapped places. Because I can foresee Valis having issue with this.
You should have seen him 10 minutes ago.
I hear a sword undrawn. I'm kidding.
I stepped away!
I can charm him.
I
Just takes
am
a
not
photo.
for or against keeping souls trapped or hidden away. That is not my business. If you all wish to free the souls, that is your choice.
I mostly just don't want to cross the Madam.
I would advise against it.
And therefore would endeavor to stop Valis from any foolish, misguided actions.
Billy, it sounds as if you have a plan already, so what would you like from me?
I just hear another person say, yes, good, don't be thrown to the wolves, Billy, but yes, that's great.
Are there wolves, Billy?
There were.
Well, it sounds as if there will be much worse in the future.
Yep. Well, now you know where we are. We are approaching the dome on this side of things. And next time we have information, we will contact you. Oh, we found Ori's sister. She's here.
Good?
Yes, I think. She appears to also be missing
Well,
things.
oh, well, that's concerning. I would look into that.
We're trying.
In the meantime, this is a very important task, Billy. You've made it farther than anybody else has. Be careful.
Of course.
Sooner or later, we all
And,
have to make a choice.
when you open the container, the Guardian is quite strong. Be mindful that you will need to fight it.
Noted.
Have a good day. The stone goes silent.
Damn it.
You hear the tones of power.
I was going to ask which container, but I guess we'll find out.
What fucking container? Why did you say noted instead of what container?
I was gonna follow it up, and then he continued. One does not interrupt Hearsome. Billy knows the rules,
Goodbye.
And perhaps that will serve you well.
and perhaps it won't.
Just remember the container.
I have to remember there is a container. We have to open it, and we have to fight the Guardian, and it's gonna suck. Billy just comes back. No new information. Don't go in there unless we want a good dinner.
Oh.
We mean
So
to go
what
in there.
Oh well, we'll have good dinner.
What is your objective here?
My father has been here before, many times. And I mean to find out why.
Well, it seems as if she'll be an amenable host. Just don't break the mirrors.
She nods. She hands the staff back to you, but holds on to it just for a second, and she says, I do not know who you are. And I'm sorry for that.
It's not your fault. I am going to help you. However I can.
No, I'm going to help you. And she releases the staff into your hands. She turns, and to all of you, she says, there are 3 entrances that we've scouted out. 2 of them lead into a room full of mirrors, and the other leads into a very dark chamber.
She's an archfey. Have you thought about just knocking?
They look kind of back and forth and both shake their head no. There is no door. You can just walk in.
If you still knock on the side, it's polite.
I would trust her in this.
Oh, your sword used to be glowing.
Yep. Billy holds it up.
Problem, daylight. You feel as if there is no hidden approach here for you. Glowing in the darkness of the space.
Billy can sheath it.
For sure. But when you shing out,
Yep.
it glows.
And then Billy puts it back.
Shing,
It's
it's
Valis.
dark.
Valis, look at me. Are we gonna have a problem?
Why would we have a problem?
Because inside there are things
Hey,
that you
Cheshire.
may not agree with.
Yeah.
We're good with this.
We are gonna have a problem?
Let me impress upon
Oh.
everyone here.
I understand.
The madam is an archfey. It would be tantamount to crossing Hirsa.
So if you need an assist, buddy, you let me know.
I don't intend on doing anything that would endanger us.
Are you certain?
Yes.
True.
Yes.
Cause I got you.
I don't think I'm the one that you need to worry about, to be honest. Because you don't know what Ellie is doing here. Whatever she does, Ori will follow her.
She's literally right here.
I'm literally right here.
She nods and she says, well, good. If you are going to follow us, you must be committed.
Do you intend to speak to the lady, or are we looking for something?
We are looking for mirrors. Soul mirrors.
Okay.
They are what gather souls from other planes.
Okay.
And they focus them here. That is how she gathers her power.
Okay.
But by redirecting them, we can break the container that holds the ritual.
Container. Okay. Question. Do we know how to move the mirrors? Is it like a boop, and we can pick them up, or is it like we have to do a whole bunch of stuff to like?
Where are you from?
A hole in the ground.
The common people. Very well. You have an interesting way of talking.
You are related.
What ritual though? Did we touch on the ritual? What did I miss about the ritual?
Yeah, what?
Well, isn't that why we're all here?
I believe I asked you for help understanding that because we got here by accident.
Okay.
This is where the ritual that anchors the Dome of Alandar is kept.
And you wish to break it.
I wish to read it.
Okay.
There is something that my father has not told me about this.
What does the container do for the ritual? Does it contain?
Do not know.
Billy begins just walking towards the door.
Okay.
Are you walking towards the door of the structure closest to you?
The one that seems to be the main entryway.
Can you all?
And if
just-
that is the one that's closest to us, then yeah.
Okay.
Do we
You
have?
start walking up
Can you
these
just
zigzag
give me,
steps.
like, 1 minute.
Do we
Hearing
have to go
that,
now?
Alina would grab Billy and be like, "Hold on, let her cook."
Minka wants to
I would catch up. And be like,
cast augury.
She's doing something cool. Come on.
Just
Okay.
ask.
So
It's hard to read. Just ask.
What are your
I
questions here?
may ask about a specific course of action that we plan to make
Yes,
within the
you
next
said-
30 minutes. Minka would like to inquire about
Our interaction with the map.
opening the container.
Okay.
That's smart.
You can give me. You can choose to give me one of the following possible omens:
Mhm.
wheel for good things,
Yep.
woe bad things, wheel and woe good bad, or nothing.
How are you using augury?
Hirsim gave me this. The.
More, what does it look like?
Oh, okay. So, she would take out the little box that Hirsim gave her
Okay.
and open it up, and I believe there were bones and cards in there.
Yep.
She would pick out the bones, and she'd be like, "Okay, should we open the container?"
And the bones
No.
across the ground. And they
Get fucked.
all stand up into a dome, touching just point to point, point to point, point to point, impossibly delicately, forming a perfect sort of sphere that the four bones, as perfect as four bones can make. And that seems to be a wheel and a woe. Hard to tell what that means. But I would say make a insight check. You look at this, and it's like the Jumanji dice, where they just kind of snap together right at the end.
Okay,
Can I
Billy
assist
goes
with
up
this
upstairs
insight?
again.
Probably not. No.
What do those bones mean?
I know, just wait. I'm just gonna knock. Let the rope cut.
22.
With a 22, this omen is telling you opening this will have good and bad consequences. Not opening this likely will have good and bad consequences. Not opening it will yield no information.
Right.
There isn't really good choices here, just choices.
Well, it would
Do we-
appear that
Alina
whatever
is
we do
actively
next,
trying to stop you from knocking on the
It
door,
is-
just for the record.
going to put this in motion. And once we start this, there's no going back.
And you hear now, like 120 feet up this zigzag staircase, the knock, knock, knock of Billy's bare knuckles on the stone, and it echoes through the space. You can see
I think things are already in motion.
through this door, Billy, 10 feet tall, 10 feet wide, but made into an archway, there is what looks like some kind of a magically induced fog. On the left, the Feywild air, warm, kind of collides with the Shadowfell on the right. This is a place that is in both places at once. Ahead of you, you can see just 10 feet ahead where the darkness kind of takes hold. There are little bits of roots and edges of toadstools and mushrooms. There is moss and fungus and vines. This entire space is kind of overgrown beyond. But make a perception check as you listen to the echo of this knock.
27.
With a 27, there is no response, but as your eyes adjust to the dark, you can see in the distance there is a space where, out of all the sort of toadstools and moss and vines, there is more rigid structure. And you see what looks like almost two metallic sort of, almost like interior walls, although they are quite narrow, that just rise up. And between them, there is what looks like just so covered with like leaves and stuff that it's almost impossible to see, almost like a steel table. And on that table, you just catch a glint of light that is shed from the daylight coming off like the crack in the hilt of your sword, and it reflects off another blade that sits on that table. Beyond that, maybe another 20 feet, you see a huge arched doorway, and beyond that, there is hundreds of mirrors in a huge space, and you can see there is a big orb that is casting this magical glow across bright light that is so bright it's almost blinding. If you were standing in that space, in most of the room it is like blindingly bright, but where it hits the mirrors behind, there is magical darkness cast just in rays across the room. With that check as well, you can kind of peer into that chamber, really focusing your eyes. You see in each mirror something different reflected. You can see there are places where there are like just, you are looking out of a mirror and into the ocean. You are underwater. There is just like waving kelp. You can see places where the mirrors themselves kind of open up into huge, expansive like cities that are unlike anything that you've ever really seen. Each of these mirrors seems to open up not just into different places, but different planes and different continents and just various other places around. In some places it is day, in some places it is night. There are places through the mirrors where you cannot see at all, and in many of them you see these amorphous, sort of shadowy figures that seem to be almost just standing on the other side, peering out. In the middle of all of this, you can see, almost certainly, who is the Madam of Dark Reflections. This individual, you can see, they are a broad-shouldered woman, a large dark shape in the daylight, sort of bathing this place. She is swathed in a cloak and a massive furred black sun hat that covers the pale face, save a single eye that peers into one of these mirrors. You can see she is currently looking at a tiefling who is looking back at her, and seems to be just kind of speaking, or you can't hear at this distance, but in some way kind of having an interaction. That is what you see.
Alina is like, Billy, the group needs to rest before we take on whatever's in here, please.
I'm just inviting her to dinner.
I don't think she's listening.
I know, I'm waiting for her to be done.
Can we please?
Are they like?
We're up at the top of the stairs.
Like 120 feet away.
What's my sister doing?
Just go and
with
like
them doing
get
that?
the platter.
They're
and
probably
stuff.
like halfway up the stairs. They're making their way up, but a little slower. Okay.
Do we need to go now, or I want to, as Ellie starts to work, wait, do we need to go now, or can we rest because we just escaped from a very dangerous vampire?
This is a dangerous place to rest.
Okay.
Billy's kind of like waiting to see if like the discussion finishes.
Okay. About 5 minutes go by if you're willing to wait.
I think after 5 minutes, Billy would just kind of like clear her throat, and kind of call out.
So 1 sec. Ori kind of joins before the 5 minutes pass.
So I get to see what they're saying.
And using your features, you can read lips. Give me 1 second here.
Features. I love features.
What are features?
Using them.
Features.
You can see you can't read the lips of the madam because she has her back to you, but you can see this tiefling. They have warm skin, blue eyes, that has been carefully accentuated with powerful makeup that is a striking magenta eyeshadow. They are wearing flowing garments of white and brown that layer like cream and coffee down to her shins, where there are these sandals that kind of rise up. And then strapped to her waist, you see a book of some kind. You can see that she is standing on a high and creaky bridge that joins some sort of high and windy sandy plateaus. You see blue, white, pink-toned granite buildings that catch rising sun rays behind them. And that person nods curtly. And you're about halfway through this conversation. And they say, give me 1 second here. Justificare is nearly ready. It only will take but a push to cause anarchy to fall. We await your word. She nods, and the mirror just goes blank. And you see now this single red eye reflected from underneath this hat. And you, Billy, now can see this red eye like reflecting back towards you, and you feel seen.
Forgive the intrusion, madam. And Billy bows deeply.
You see the eye blinks once in the distance, and she turns, and the eye now peers over her shoulder. And she holds a hand out, and she beckons you forth.
Billy takes like a single step forward, bows again. I hear from the
For the rest of you, as Billy bows, you see she just turns and walks off to the right, like out of the doorway. And so as Billy begins to talk, she's not there anymore necessarily.
I'll be right back.
No, don't go.
It's fine.
Are we following? Are we staying here?
I'm following.
And Billy goes in. And just
I'm just following Ellie at this point.
Everybody follows. Billy, you lead the group in. And you can't help but remember the words.
told you to stay.
And yet,
Shit, you were almost dead like 10 minutes ago.
And you will die.
Hey, you let us.
I think
You
Mink
let
is
us.
awkwardly in the back
No,
of the group,
no, you chose
Okay.
to come.
trying to keep her
That's what I
hands
said last
as
time,
close
but
to her
now this one's
body
on
as
you.
she can.
you cross the distance of this space, and as you do, about halfway in the middle, you can see this kind of metal table rising up. On the metal table, it is absolutely a blade, and Billy, without a doubt, this is magical. What you are looking at seems to be a magical sword. It looks like it is a blade that is almost dark, like black, but as you get close, you realize it only looks that way because the surface of it polished to a mirror finish. As you get close, you have to almost shield your eyes because a mote of light from the interior room almost blinds you. This is certainly a magical item. The fact that it is on this sort of surface is suspicious, to say the least. Yes.
You said there was some magical darkness in the distance?
Yeah.
I can see through magical darkness. What do I see?
You see the floor and you see the wall.
Okay.
The magical darkness would almost certainly be a problem, perhaps in like an encounter.
Oh, I got it at IKEA.
Behind each mirror where the magical light doesn't hit, you get the sense that this room, probably if this Madam of Dark Reflections were to quench that light, the whole room would be plunged into magical darkness. And that's really the purpose. But you can just see the space behind the mirrors.
Okay.
Once we arrive in the blindingly bright mirror room, where I assume is where she was.
So you're going to walk past the sword?
Yes.
There's a sword?
Does the sword look familiar?
As
Ori, look at me.
familiar in what way?
Does it match any of the weapons that are on the door to the Enclave, the Tri-Wards and whatnot?
No, not visibly, but make an Arcana check as you kind of near it. You look at it and regard what is in front of you.
All of you are idiots. You are also an idiot.
I know, but you followed me.
Ori's
17.
just following his sister
17.
at this point.
So you get over to this kind of weapon. It doesn't match anything that you've seen. It's really weird because the edge of it, you look at it, it's like a regular sword, a short sword, but the edge is not just a thrusting point, it almost becomes like a crescent at the end, and it's bladed, it's sharp. This will certainly function as a weapon, but it looks as if beyond being a sword, it maybe has another function as well. You don't recognize it, however. It is certainly magical. For the rest of you, I would say, who has a passive perception above 20? The two of you and perhaps Minka, although I think Minka's 19.
No, it's now 20.
There you go.
I'm almost at 30.
The three of you, as Valis kind of looks over this weapon, you note that there is suddenly a shift in the air. Some of the mist begins to glow, faintly green. And some of you have seen a light like this before. You recognize the light of a will-o'-the-wisp. And you see behind Valis, almost like right behind his head, that light into life. And there is just this will-o'-the-wisp directly behind Valis. And then, almost like fire, you can see behind a humanoid shape that looks almost nightmarish in vision. And because it is 10 o'clock, I am going to end today. Can everybody pull their minis off the map? Let me show you a visual perspective.
Oh, no. Phallus, did you make eye contact with the boogeyman in the mirror?
I mean, I think other people did. I don't think I did. Unless the sword's the mirror.
But you walked, you knew. It knew that you knew, so you're dead.
But Euthelius especially is going to stay largely quiet in the unknown presences, as he does not speak a lot around strangers.
Is he shy?
He's not shy.
He's
I would say,
fucking
smart.
useless.
Yeah.
You got
Did
it?
you say he's not
Ori
shy?
tries
Nice
to do
touch.
that
Yeah.
generally
Thank you.
with information.
Just put these.
Oh, damn, you're not gonna be here next week.
That's fine.
It's okay. We'll probably be like in the middle of battle for a while because Valis looks at a sword, not for any other reason.
We've all had a session that really was directly connected to our character.
Cast
that
speak
we
with
weren't at.
sword and roll a natural one.
Well, also, Ori's probably reeling a bit because his sister seemingly has
Weren't we
had
saying that he was
the
just gonna
memory
glower
of
for a
her
bit?
stolen.
Yeah.
And Valis, you can be
This is not
standing
the
up on there if
expected,
you want, or anywhere in front to those
trajectory
mushrooms.
here.
I don't know what
And
my
I will
mini
pull
is.
up a battle cam. You can see that encounter map a little bit here, but you can see it in much greater detail at Alberon RPG on Instagram if people take pictures. But because it is 10 o'clock, this is where we're going to end for this evening. As the Nightmare Wisp kind of becomes real behind Valis.
Damn.
Thank you for joining us for this session of Courts of Everest. We are now in the Monastery of Dark Mirrors, and we will be back next week, but please stay safe. It is wild out there. If you can't wait that long, join us tomorrow at noon for Wheel of the Year Ostara. I'm gonna say it right
Ostara.
eventually. Ostara. Maybe tomorrow will be the day.
Tomorrow.
Find out at noon. We'll see you then. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.